Excellent.
You don't know what you're doing.
Welcome back to another episode of Much to Do About Nothing. This is going to be a very fun episode, guys, and we are officially in She-Hulk week. All right, She-Hulk is amongst us. All right, so make sure you guys stay tuned this week for MCR as we break down the first episode. Even though them stingy motherfuckers could have dropped two. You know what I'm saying? Dropped two fucking episodes. But anyway, before we get into our topics today, let me introduce my amazing panel. Starting off with Didge. What's up, Didge?
Not much, ready to talk superhero fatigue. I'm interested in what your guys' thoughts are on it.
The way you softballed that in there, I'm scared you might have some. We might have to attack you tonight, Didge. Look at Joel's already plotting it out. Look, fuck, I didn't say this. But next up, the person that definitely took this show from a duo to the Three Musketeers, purely off of passion or chaos. Trayvon, what's going on, Trayvon?
Definitely chaos.
Hi, everybody. It depends on what the topic is. But there's no fucking thing as superhero fatigue. And whoever's saying that, just fuck off. Give it to me, okay? Give me all the shit, okay? Just shut up. Y'all shut up. Let me have it, okay? I need more of it.
Oh, man. I love it. And last but definitely not least, the recent birthday boy, Joel. What's going on, Joel?
What's up? That was I had a good weekend, and I'm older now, and I feel it.
Oh.
The way you said it was like Saturday hit, and your body said, "Hey, this is a lot." Like, you were like, "I know, I'm feeling it. I get you. I'm here. I understand." No, Joel is lying. He is young as shit. He is not old. Okay, he is not old. He is young. Look at that. There's no gray hairs. None of them. He's been podcasting with me for 8 years now, and there's no gray hairs. Look at that.
Right there.
That's talent. Well, you got nice that literally as we just said this. It just grew right there. Right there.
I have a weird gray streak right in the front there.
It's better to have gray hair than losing it. Trust me.
Yeah, I mean it's there somewhere. I promise.
Oh, but no, my hairline went from here to here, and since 27. 3 years to get to this. So.
4 fingers, dog. 4.
Yeah, mine might be a whole hand by now. Like,
I did promise myself that if I ever saw a gray hair, I just go bald. Fuck it. No one can tell. Just go full bald.
I honestly,
no one will ever tell.
You can at least dye the gray back. Like going bald is just that's it.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I have gray hair since 6th grade, so
yeah.
What kind of life you live?
That's
just said that shit like
I thought losing my hair was bad. Right. Gray since 6? Oh man.
Yo, what the and I love how Trayvon just dropped that in like that was normal. Like, yeah, I'm proud of you.
Fractions was kicking your ass, huh? Just
God,
I'll tell you about my life I've had one day.
Goodness gracious. I think my biggest struggle was making sure I got the you guys remember back when they used to do the Doritos with the number on the back? Like it had the number on the back of the bag. And if you collected a certain amount of them, you get like a prize. You don't remember that? Oh, fuck. That was the biggest stress I had. Trying to always make sure I got high numbers in that shit.
In the streets of Milwaukee, we did not have that. Maybe we weren't a big enough city,
Mm-hmm.
That's those big city things. We didn't get those.
Man, I grew up in Richmond, Virginia. That shit is like from stoplight to stoplight. That shit's not big. Your hospital and mall are right next to each other. like movie theater, mall, hospital, all right here. Just right here. All right, guys, let's get into our topics. All right, let's start off with, as we said before, our quiet man. I love that, Mike. Let's start off with, as we said at the top of the show, superhero fatigue. I've been hearing streamers talking about it all over the place. I've been hearing Twitter talk about it all over the place.
What are their names?
Of course, you know I'm not doing that. A, I'm not giving anybody free press. And B,
DM me. I need to get in the
Okay,
comments.
I'll DM you. It's somebody we know too that was saying this, but
Well,
to
I'm
me,
happy I've avoided it then, but I haven't seen it.
to me, I'll say this, right? I'll say this. Could there be an argument that it's become so much superhero content or too much superhero content? I can make an argument for that. But my only issue with people that are having superhero fatigue is I don't have proof that you motherfuckers support anything else but superhero shit. Good or bad, right? So it's like, again, you guys that want people to stop doing remakes, you guys that want people to stop doing, reimaginations or superhero this or superhero that, you got to go out there and support these movies that aren't any of those things. And I don't believe we're in a society that actually fucking does it. They just like to talk the shit, right? And then do none of the work for it, right? They love to tell you, hey, fucking sick of it, bringing back Men in Black, doing this, 21 Jump Street, and that. And it's like, okay, well, did you see anything from A24? No, what's that? Well, then there you go. I mean, what the fuck do you want, right? Like, did you see the Men in Black reboot? Yeah. Well, then you're part of the fucking problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I don't think there's a superhero fatigue because I have not yet run into a superhero project that has been so bad it starts to dilute the product. Now, I tell you, there was a moment where Sony and Fox were testing my patience, right? But then the good old MCU said, let me bring you some of that sunshine in your life, Juwaan. And it's been smooth sailing ever since. And then Fox died. That was even better, right? We're waiting for Sony to slowly make its way out, right? But no, so to me, I don't think that there is a such thing as a superhero fatigue for me personally. Because to me, I think in order to gain that, there just has to be a streak of really shitty movies that starts to dilute the product to where I'm like, well, now you're just making movies just to make movies. This shit's not even good, right? And I don't feel as though I'm there. Sony's trying, right? They're trying.
I don't know. Morbius was fun. I don't know. I don't know.
Morbius was fun. But
I get you, but my problem is, Trayvon, the MCU movies and then the Sony movies, that is a massive drop-off. It's not a slight drop. It is a massive drop-off from everything. Quality. Concepts. It's just a massive drop-off. So they're trying. Continuity. They're trying.
What
they're
the
trying.
fuck was that Vulture poster?
With the post-credit scene, I don't know. But the movie prior to that was fun.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on in the post-credit scene.
It almost ruined the movie. That's how bad those post-credit
I
scenes
ignore. I'm trying to ignore that.
Trayvon, I'm going to be honest with you. Those post-credit scenes were so bad. That was the conversation heading out of that opening weekend. Like, what the fuck was that? And I'm like, well, how'd you like the movie? Fuck the movie. What was that shit at the end? What was that?
The movie, yeah, it really did.
Right. So, I mean, that's where I'm saying.
When I came out of it,
that's when I start screaming, "Sony, get bought, please!" When stuff like that happens, I was enjoying the movie, and then they do that. I'm like, okay, Sony, okay, maybe my to get sold.
All we gotta do, and I'm gonna pass it to you, Did, to get your first thoughts. All we have to do, Trayvon, is to get Tom Holland to sit out for at least 3 to 4 years, right? Because Sony has to make a Spider-Man movie every 2 to 4 years.
No. They're doing it. That's what all these Spider-Man. These are Spider-Man movies. So technically,
I think they have to use the character of Spider-Man.
I mean, those
they have to use the character.
Those Spider-Man, they're in his.
They're not stupid. It's like
they're doing somebody's paying attention to that.
Well, we are.
Somebody's figuring out what those terms were.
I believe that Sony will drop a new Spider-Man movie in the next 2 years. Like we all are under that impression that Spider-Man movie is not far away. No. So that's why I'm saying if we can get Tom Holland to focus on his mental health long enough to not be Spider-Man, for that shit to revert back will be great. We just need Tom Holland to take one for the team.
Technically, they still distribute it, right? So technically, it's still theirs. Like the Spider-Man movies, Sony, they still the ones that distribute. So technically, it's still them putting it out. So I'm pretty sure that's the term. That's why I don't think it's going anywhere. Technically, the Tom Holland ones are, and then the Venom movie. All these movies are Spider-Man movies. Technically,
why can't somebody at Sony just love us enough to just not exist anymore? Like, Your company just gone.
You
Right?
Venom
Just get
does
rid of it.
count.
Man, about to be a something.
Man Web too.
Venom does count as a
Even-
Spider-Man movie, weirdly enough. Oh, I hate the world I live in.
Yeah.
Ditch, are you getting any superhero fatigue?
Personally, no, but I do understand someone who's saying they would. There's a lot of stuff that are coming out, and with Marvel especially, everything is so interconnected that you gotta watch this, you gotta read that, you gotta
That's
watch
right.
this series, you gotta do that, you gotta do
right.
this, you gotta do it in the right format,
That's
in the
right.
right order. I get it. That's a
right.
lot to
You
do.
preaching?
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Watch it or shut up. That's it. That's it.
But that's a lot to do.
I know.
Not to mention thinking that everything,
That's right.
everything wants to have such an interconnected universe now. Let's say someone's a Marvel fan, but they also love Power. Now there's Power Book 2, book 3. Think there's a book 4.
Make a choice. Make a choice.
You got
I know.
everything wants to
That's
be so.
cinematic universe fatigue. That's different.
But I think that's where you get superhero fatigue. Is that with Power, there's 4 series. You can feasibly keep up with that. With Marvel, it's like 23. Like Marvel is a lot.
It's
I get it.
intimidating.
Well, I mean, okay. So speaking to what you're saying, I get you on the continuity part, but what we're not going to try to do is act like there's not a horror movie every fucking month, right? Sometimes 4 in 1 month,
Thank you.
right? No, they're not connected. But if you're talking about the essence of there just being an overabundance of horror movies, right? Like it's just a horror movie everywhere. There's now shows,
But
movies.
not going into theaters. 'Cause a lot of these Marvel, especially if we're talking comic book
No,
movies,
these horror movies, yeah, like the fucking Invitation. I just heard about the Invitation. I didn't even know this was a fucking movie. I just saw the trailer recently. Was just like, oh,
Yeah, 2 out this month.
but it doesn't
Like-
take over the theater like superhero movies do.
No, of course not. But again, that's less about superheroes and more about the fact that Disney is the biggest balls in all of movie history, right? They could just come, drop it down, and go, hey, 18 of your 20 theaters, they're fucking mine this weekend, right? So it's just the power that they harness. But this has not been something throughout the entirety of the MCU run.
It
Right?
hasn't, but that's where you can start getting the fatigue now because Disney does do that. Hell, there's been a time, what was it that came out? It was right around the time of like Batman vs Superman and Justice League when all of those were coming out. There were movie theaters here where it was every screen was a superhero movie because some old Marvel movie.
Sounds beautiful.
I mean, I liked it because I can go see these, but somebody who they are inundated and they're not as much of a fan, I can understand them saying this is a fucking lot. Like
They had the
I
last
get that.
100 years. They can
See,
listen to
they
that
had the
point.
last 100 years.
I mean, that's not
So
false.
you're,
No, go ahead, Trayvon. I'm sorry.
so
Go
you're
ahead, Trayvon.
saying, so you're saying like for people that don't watch superhero movies, I don't feel like they could claim fatigue.
Not even that
They
they
just
don't
don't
watch
like it.
superhero movies. Someone who they're not fully immersed in it. Like not every fan who watches the Avengers or watches Justice
Watch
League
all of them.
are going to be fully immersed. They're just, you know what? This looks like a cool movie I want to go see. That's it.
But
And
then that goes to what Trayvon's saying. That's what makes it super confusing because it's like if you're not that deep in it, you just don't have to keep up with the shit, right?
But
you
it's
just watch
the-
whatever interests you.
And
That's
many
not
don't.
fatigue
but
to me.
it is though, because if the theater's not showing anything else, the fatigue comes in the fact of, well, I have nothing else I can. If I want to go out to the theaters, I really can't go see anything else because these have taken over it. I'm tired of going to see these, but I want to go into the theaters to see movies, so this is what I got to go see.
Ooh, gotta do nothing.
I mean,
Or stay home and watch
You're-
a streamer. I don't know.
you're
I
not
don't know. I get what you're saying. I do. But
you're not wrong, but
we in the superhero
now
world. Anyway,
I'd say
I don't know.
this in today's world. There's just- There's so many of these smaller movies that come out that don't come out around superhero movies, right? So you could just skip this because, like, it's not like Bodies drop the same day. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a big Marvel movie. So if you want to see something that's not superhero, you could go see that.
But how many theaters did Bodies open in?
Well, I'm saying because there's nothing else bigger out right now. I have to imagine it's not a little. It's not.
Well, the
It's not a
problem, no,
small
no.
amount.
See, that's okay. So hold on. You can't say that as a superhero problem because there are no superhero movies out right now.
That's what I'm
That is
saying.
blocking
So I'm
it.
like,
That's just them not buying enough theaters.
now I'll say
I don't
this,
know.
Stage. What I've heard a lot the last few days is that their fatigue is more so because it's so formulaic, right? It's starting to become. They're all starting to blend together, right? And it's like, well, okay, that's a personal opinion. I can't argue that, but to me,
I
it's the
can't.
word. To me, I think sometimes we forget. I think we sometimes forget as people that specific words attached to things, right? Like Joel used to say to me all the time, because I used to leave a movie and go, I fucking hated it. And he's like, that's a really strong word. Did you really hate it? I'm like, no, I just didn't really like it. It's like, well, that's fine, but hate it means like you really hate it. I'm like, well, I didn't. You know, that's where words are very important, right? So to me, I think the word fatigue is just like, I guess it depends on the person that feels it. I would just need their explanation on what's tiring them out of this superhero era that we live in. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like every massive decade has had something that has just been a massive, overwhelming, a massive, overwhelming presence in theaters. Like there was a time where Westerns, that was it. Action movies, that was it. Comedies, that was it. Rom-coms, that was it. We're just now in a golden age of superhero movies. Now, could you make an argument it's maybe lasting a lot longer than people ever thought? For sure.
Because it's making money.
Right. No disagreement.
Or
No
we can
disagreement.
mention, that 2020 came, y'all had a 2-year break. Be happy with that.
Yeah.
Well, see, okay,
But
so
that 2-year
Now we
break
back
is the
to-
world
we back to
closing
it.
down. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what it takes.
That's a
Well,
long
okay.
break, bro.
So before I go to you, Trayvon, I do want to ask Mike, what do you mean by MCU fatigue? Because that's something that I think we hear, because no one can have DC fatigue or Sony fatigue. The shit's not consistent enough, right? To be like, I am fucking sick.
Oversaturated.
Right. So for you to have MCU fatigue, I am curious what that. What's up, Mr. E? I am curious what you mean by that, because I know we've all heard people saying they're tired of the MCU, right? Like it's too much. Like you said, Didge. So I'm just curious, Mike.
Yeah. So this is, you guys know how much I love comic book movies and all that stuff. So it's not that I'm annoyed by getting superhero content. I want them to stop or anything like that. It's just the rapid pace of which we get everything. One, I think affects the quality of the products we get. And two, it doesn't make it as special. Like, remember when Avengers Infinity War came out, and that was like pretty much the only superhero movie for like 4 months. When that dropped, it was an event. They don't feel like events anymore. They do feel like horror movies or comedies. And honestly, every time a horror movie drops, it's not really an event. It's just, oh, I guess I'm going to go see that movie. I'm going to go see Bodies, Bodies, Bodies instead of The Black Phone. You know, it's Bodies, Bodies, Bodies didn't have the cultural impact a Marvel movie would have. And so I'm looking at the Phase 5 slate, right? And we have Quantumania, Secret Invasion, Guardians 3, What If, Echo, The Marvels, Loki, all before fall of 2023.
Right.
Hallelujah.
But the thing is, I'm excited for all of those, but I don't even think they'll get a chance to breathe on their own. One thing I really appreciate about DC, as much crap as we give them all the time, is that when Suicide Squad drops, there's nothing else there. Your focus is on the Suicide Squad. It's on the Batman. It's on Black Adam. With Marvel, there's so many things coming out, and half of the stuff I don't even care about. Like, no offense, I don't care about Moon Knight, but I watched all of Moon Knight because what if there's something it connects to later that I need to know about? And I think that's where it becomes less fun, when it's mandatory viewing and I'm not watching it because I choose to watch it. And that's when it can become a little frustrating. Not that I hate the MCU, but if you're saying, hey, you have to keep up with 20 projects a year, that's a lot to ask for your audience. Even somebody like me who will watch comic book crap every single day of the week.
I get what you're saying. I think what my small pushback would be is I felt that about Star Wars, right? Till it came back, and what they gave me was pretty fucking shitty. And then it was the idea of like, I don't know when they're gonna do movies again, right? And what kind of helped make me feel better was the amalgamation of shows that I was getting, essentially almost back to back to back. And I do believe that you needed to watch Book of Boba Fett before you watch Mandalorian season 3.
I'd still
believe
argue though that
Go ahead, I'm
Star
sorry.
Wars is. I'd argue though that Star Wars is still different though, because you still get what 2-3 shows max a year compared
that
to
are
the list
connected,
I just.
that are connected, yeah. But as far as programming, they flood us. Like this year, we're getting a total of 4 or 5, and I think that's how many Marvel has had. Right? You had Moon Knight, you got She-Hulk, you got Miss Marvel, yes,
Doctor
Miss Marvel.
Strange,
Or-
Thor.
No. I
Black
mean
Panther.
as far as shows.
But that's the thing. It's not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
shows. If it was just shows, I'd get it. But you have
Yeah,
4
but, I
shows
mean-
and like 3 movies that you
And
have to
right,
keep up with.
Right, but none of those connect with each other, right? So you don't have to watch Moon Knight to watch Miss Marvel. You don't have to watch
But
Miss
the
Marvel
thing
to watch
is,
She-Hulk.
we don't necessarily know that.
But
We
it's
don't-
No,
still-
I get you, but I'm saying now that we've seen it all, we know that those shows are not interconnected to where you
Right,
need to watch
after
one
we
show
watch
to watch
them.
the other.
That's the
That's
thing.
hindsight.
Well, I
yeah.
mean, but to
Yeah.
be fair, that's been the formula since these MCU shows have started. They don't interconnect with each other.
Except for WandaVision and Doctor Strange.
No. I mean,
That's not a
no.
movie, though.
I'm saying show to show. They don't connect at all.
Yeah,
They
you
don't
see,
connect at
but
all.
that's the thing. The Disney Plus thing is in its infancy, so like we didn't know. We know that now, 2
Oh, for
years
sure.
into it.
For sure.
But I feel like that's where a lot of the fatigue can come from, because you go and expect. Like, now we know I don't have to watch She-Hulk. I love She-Hulk. I love Daredevil, so I'm gonna watch She-Hulk. But at least now I
That's true.
understand
That's true.
I don't have to commit to all of this other stuff. Whereas before it felt like it, and that's when the fatigue kind of set in. At least for me.
No, I mean, look, I get you. I think to what you were saying, Trayvon, I'm going to pass it to you. To what you were saying about, like, it just doesn't feel truly special anymore. To me, I take it by project, right? Because to me, not all things are supposed to. Some things are supposed to just be a table setter for the character or a table setter for the actual event that's coming down the line. So, like, I could watch Eternals or Shang-Chi and appreciate it for what it is, right? And not necessarily look for those to be these massive event films. Now, when I get to these Avenger movies, those are where I'm like, well, that's where I've been waiting to get. This has all just been leading me to that moment, right? So I just, like I said, I just watch these movies more so taking it just as it is, and that's very new for me. That's not, I'm not trying to say it like I've thought this way my entire experience with the MCU. It's just an acquired taste now, so where it's just like I might not give a fuck about any of this shit, right? But I take it more so as like this is just a small piece of a very massive fucking puzzle, right?
Yeah.
And I do understand some people that don't want to assemble the puzzle, but that's why I say, and not you, Mike, because I know you are into the whole superhero world. But that's why I say to other people, you can not watch any of this shit and only watch what you're interested in. But you then can't go, well, I don't know what's going on. Well, I mean, there's a roadmap you skipped.
I think that's the difference, though, between the MCU and every other genre, is that I don't have to watch the black phone to understand bodies. I just go see
Sure, but
that one movie. Whereas it's like, okay, well, if I want to see Doctor Strange, I guess I need to watch WandaVision so I know what the heck is happening. And
I mean,
that's
but
when it becomes
certain-
homework, unless I'm going to go enjoy this movie.
But certain projects do this. Like, you can't watch the Chucky show and not have seen almost all the fucking Chucky movies, right? You have no idea who Andy
Halloween
is.
Ends.
Right.
Saw
So I'm like,
10,
some of these
like,
projects do it. And I believe if DC had a more consistent run,
Yeah,
it would have done the
Flash.
exact same thing.
Yeah.
So I get you. It's not a massive thing every franchise does. But we've gotten a lot of franchises
20.
recently. I don't think you can watch this Ghostbusters Afterlife and not have seen any of the Ghostbusters, like the original Ghostbusters.
You could have. You shouldn't have, but you could have.
But that's
I
the same
guess
thing
the-
for the MCU.
I guess
That's what
the
I'm saying.
difference with everything you guys just named, Chucky, Saw, Ghostbusters, those are one singular franchise, right? Where
Mhm.
Yeah, of course I'm not going to watch the 10th Saw movie without watching the other 9. But if I like Doctor Strange, why do I have to watch this Wanda show to understand Doctor Strange? That's where the crossover, and again, I actually was a fan of that choice, but that's where the crossover can become confusing and difficult for some people because it's like, well, I'm a fan of Captain America. Why do I need to watch Iron Man? And that's when it gets really muddled a little bit there.
I get you, but I do believe that you can watch these movies and enjoy them for what they are. You just don't know. Like, again, I was telling my mom, she wanted to see Endgame. She hadn't watched literally anything but fucking Thor Dark World, right?
Oof.
And she's like, oh my God, do I have to watch all of this shit? Yeah, we're not going to go down that road. But she's like, do I have to watch all of these? And I'm like, I straight up told her, this is an event film. You can go in and appreciate the event of it, right? But there's so many small, intricate moments that you'll kind of needed to know to truly appreciate, but you don't need it to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people, Joel Diggs, we know this all the time. There are people that don't watch football a day in their fucking life, but watch the Super Bowl every fucking year.
Yeah,
now,
my mom's one of them.
Right. So now you can say to them, hey, you have no idea who the quarterback is. You have no idea the story of what got them there, but you can enjoy it for it just being an event, right? So to me, I feel as though you can do that. You can watch these Marvel movies not having seen anything else and enjoy it for what it is, right? But you then can't go, well, I have no idea who this guy coming out of the portal at the end of Shang-Chi. What is this? Where's this Bruce Banner guy come? Because then it's like, well, you maybe should have watched everything beforehand.
But that's not the thing. That's not the response that someone who's having fatigue of it is gonna have. They're not gonna watch the one thing and then complain about it. Their complaint already came in the fact of, just like Mike was saying, there's so much stuff and it's so interconnected. It does start to feel like homework. It does start to feel like, well, I got to make sure I watch A, B, and C so I can understand X, Y, and Z. When really, but don't forget you need to watch T, U, and V because you need to know those too. It does become a lot. I get it.
I want to pass to you, Trayvon. I just want to say to that, Didge. Yes, are most of these movies connected? 100%, but not all of these movies are connected. Like you did not have to see Eternals to watch Shang-Chi.
But that's in hindsight. The thing is, you always going into everything. You're like, well, I don't know where this is going to show up again, so I might as well watch it because I need to know in case later on. Hold on,
time out. That is a personal decision. None of these movies are formulaic to where they all blend into each other to where you need one for the other.
Yeah, but you don't know which project is going to show up in. Though. That's the thing.
No. But I'm saying that's a personal choice. It's not like Marvel is requiring you to watch every single movie to understand what's happening, because not all of these movies connect. Like if I told you right now, hey, I haven't really kept up. I just saw Spider-Man. Now I'm about to watch. I'm sorry. I didn't see Spider-Man, but I'm about to watch Shang-Chi. Like, is there something of that I need to see for this? The answer's no.
Again, that's hindsight, though. No. Like somebody's not. You're not gonna know. You don't know that going into the project. That's where it becomes the fatigue of. I gotta watch this because.
But then why can't that be 50-50? Why can't that be? You can't make an assumption you have to, and you can't make an assumption.
Again, that's homework, Juwaan. Like you just said, hey, I haven't caught up. Do I like you even having to ask that question? Is the homework? That's the problem.
Like that's still the fatigue of it. Is I don't know where this.
Looking at it as a problem, and it's unique to the MCU. It's not unique to any other franchise in the fucking world. Right. And that's why you got to live with that fucking homework if you want to watch these movies.
But that's why I appreciate Mike breaking it down to he has an MCU fatigue, because it's not a massive superhero problem. Right? It's not. I'm going to be honest with you. You don't even have to watch all of the Transformers movies to watch the other fucking Transformer movie. None of that shit feels connected. It feels like they rebooted it each movie. So it's like, that's not a massive superhero problem.
It's not.
You can make an argument it's a MCU problem.
But MCU has become ubiquitous with superheroes right now.
Especially with DC being gone for like 5 years.
It's an issue, but that's not that's not. I guess you couldn't say it's Marvel's fault. It's you could blame a lot of people. DC not really being around. You know, you got.
But they want to do the same thing.
But I will say
not only that, there's plenty. Yes, they want to do the exact same thing. Every time you hear about DC, they say we want to do an MCU like thing. So that already is gonna create that fatigue because it's like, oh God, we know what Marvel is already doing.
Yeah.
DC wants to do the exact same thing. For someone who's not, like I said, who's not 100% fully into it, I can understand them being like, this is about to be a lot.
Yeah, but I feel like no one ever says they have comic book fatigue. And I feel like if you're reading one long, massive fucking issue, you can't skip one of the books
but
and then
comic
continue
books is
to
more,
read.
That's more of a niche thing also than...
There are red books all the time that I skip all the time just to read the initial book.
I'm glad you brought that up, though, guys, because I think that's the issue that I have with the MCU, right? Where in comic books, I'm reading Nightwing. I don't have to read Batman to understand Nightwing at all.
No, but the
whatsoever.
Nightwing run, you do. The one long Nightwing run, you can't skip anything.
Right.
Is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So I'm saying it's unique to the projects, is what I'm saying. It's not one. It's like, okay, so what I'm saying is you guys are making it like it's one long MCU problem. And I'm saying that it's very much particular to the projects. It's not every movie you have to see what came before to understand the movie you're in now, is what I'm trying to say. That's very unique, where you get Spider-Man into WandaVision into Multiverse of Madness. Like, that shit's rare. That's not like you don't have to watch Iron Man and Incredible Hulk to enjoy First Avenger.
That's
Should
phase
you?
one,
For
though.
sure.
Phase 4 is kind of more like what's happening now.
But even that, with Phase 4, that's not that. We just said Eternals and Shang-Chi. None of those two movies connect in any way that you have to see one to enjoy the other.
Shang-Chi might connect to She-Hulk. That was the first time it connected to something.
But that's the thing. You said might, and that's again the core issue is that we don't know until you see. It's easy to say Shang-Chi doesn't connect to Eternals after we've seen both, but we don't know that going in.
No, I get you.
Like
okay, so what I'm saying is what you're saying, I get. What you and Didge are saying, I get. Let me be very clear about that.
Okay.
I'm just saying it does not happen often enough that you guys are making it sound like all we get is movies that you have to see one after the other to enjoy what comes next. And I'm saying that's more sporadic. It's not every MCU movie that you got to see what came before to understand what comes after. And I get you saying that it's hindsight, but that's why I'm saying that was never described as the formula that was the MCU. It just started to be to where the Avengers movies, or what came right before an Avengers movie, sure. But all these singular movies, they're not dependent on what came before or after.
They kind of are, I would say, because if you look at all of the trilogies in the MCU, they feel very weird. Like going from Captain America, the Winter Soldier, to Captain America: Civil War without any other context doesn't make sense. Going into Iron Man 3 without watching the Avengers doesn't make sense. You know, the ending of Ant-Man and the Wasp without watching Infinity War doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And so
but that's why I said those are sporadic.
But those
There's
are
been
also
almost 30 movies.
But no, but
like,
to what
I
Mike
can maybe
is saying,
give you
though,
5 or 10 out of those 20.
But to what Mike is saying, if you just if you just cared about watching Iron Man movie, you miss a major part in Iron Man 3 because you didn't watch the Avengers. You just follow Captain America movie, you miss a major part in Captain America 3 because you didn't follow along something else that wasn't a part of it. The same for Ant-Man. It's that. And like I said, for someone who enjoys it, it's not gonna seem as daunting because you have a little bit more knowledge. You have a lot more knowledge. You follow it way more deeper than someone who's just surface level watching. So you gotta think
if they
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
Let the man talk.
You haven't said anything. Go ahead.
Because I just been listening to this. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna. Can I say one thing and then I'm gonna dip? You can go, Trayvon. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Everything Didge said is what my point was gonna be. Right, with comic books, if I'm following Nightwing, I'm just following Nightwing. I don't have to break away. Whereas the MCU, even if it's every once in a while, it's hard to follow, and that's when it becomes more homework as opposed to me. I want to watch Captain America's trilogy, and I'm done. Okay, go ahead, Trayvon. Sorry.
Go ahead, Trayvon.
I don't understand why you guys don't like storylines. I don't know. Like, I don't know what's happening here. Because it's just like, I don't get it. Like, this is fun. I don't know. Like, okay. I get what you're saying. I get it when you guys are like, oh, the MC's all connected. That's great. Like, imagine if it wasn't. Like, I don't understand the problem. Like, okay, so, like, imagine if it was a mess, like another certain place. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But it's just, like, let us enjoy this. Let us enjoy this storyline. Look, these people are, like Juwaan said, these people are very welcome to watch and nitpick whatever hell they want. They can watch Moonlight episode 3 and WandaVision episode 5 and do what they want to do. Look, I'm just saying, that's their business. That's their choice. If you want to know everything, you know how to do that. Like, I just feel like that's just a choice. Like, if you want to, like, if you want to go to these movies, you didn't see Shang-Chi, Eternals, and you see them pop up later, you don't know who the hell they are, just ask me. That's all I got for you. I don't know. I can't be like holding by the hand like, you guys have to watch all of this. If you don't want to, that's your business. Don't take this from me. Don't be throwing that fatigue work around, messing it up for me. Okay? You can go, don't watch it. Don't watch it, but don't mess it up for me, okay? Like, we didn't have problems. Like,
you're making a fair point to people who aren't necessarily ingratiated in the superhero world. You make a good point, because if you're not that interested to following all the movies, then the question would be, well, why follow them? Yeah, just watch what you want, how you want. Yeah, watch what you want, how you want. Because if you're not interested in the universe as a whole, you just don't have to be, is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
If you're literally just interested in, again, let's just go back to Iron Man. Mm-hmm. You should be able to just say, well, I just want to watch the Iron Mans and understand it. Like that's
and understand.
Yeah, but that's so weird though, bro. Like, that's like, to me, I would love it if the NBA only played Knick games, but that's not the reality we live in,
that's
right?
completely
like,
different. Come on now. That's completely.
It's not. That's not how it was conceived.
That's not how it was conceived. Different. Like,
it's not.
It's a storyline to get to the playoffs, right? It's a storyline to get to the Super Bowl, right?
Everything matters. Everything matters. You can't just write one part of it.
Right? You don't have one part of it. You don't have to watch all the games. I can watch just Bucks games, or I can watch just Patriots games.
You can read reviews as little things.
But I don't even have to do. No, I don't even have to do that. I can watch just Patriots games, and I know if they win enough and they keep winning enough, and then want to get to the playoffs, I don't have to care about what anybody else did, because I'm going to know where we stand. And then in the playoffs, as long as we keep winning our games, I don't have to watch, if I'm watching the... I don't
want to know how the other team was doing, how good they were.
But
I understand. I get that point. But I'm saying, if I absolutely don't want to watch... If I don't absolutely want to watch the Knicks games, I don't have to. Like,
yeah, but I'm saying, we know that it does connect, because if the Knicks are dependent on the Hawks losing a game so they can make the playoffs, that does matter, right? That does matter. Seeding, it does matter. We know in football, seeding matters.
You don't have to watch that game.
No, but you have to keep intact with everything that's happening.
This is not a good comparison, though.
No, but I mean, it does matter, because I'm like, there is, at no point could you say, okay, nothing else matters. I only need to worry about what my team does. Because we do know in both football and basketball, there does come down to, you need these 4 fucking teams to lose. That's knowledge you need to have. You can't just dismiss it, right? You don't have to watch it, but that's the same fucking point I've been saying about you don't have to watch it.
Okay, so when when ESPN starts putting the box score for Avengers or Ant-Man Quantumania, let me know, because I'll just check like, oh, the Knicks lost, the Bucks are in the playoffs. Yeah, I don't have to watch the game. Whereas
but there's so many
channels. Ask us.
There's so many channels, though. There's so many channels, though.
You literally just said you don't want them. You literally just said you don't want them to ask you, though.
No. Just ask us. Is this character in the movie? That's it. Don't ask me who the character is. Just ask me, is Shang-Chi in the movie? Is he in it? No. Okay, that's it. Don't ask me who it is.
All I'm saying, we're gonna go to you.
All I'm saying about the powers.
There's ways to find out. Is what I'm saying. You do not live in a world where it's like, well, shit. Only way I can know is if I watch it myself. You don't have to do that.
Honestly, go on Twitter.
But these movies were never made to where they were disconnected, which is why I'm like, well, now you're at a point where you're like, well, I've been seeing it for so long, like I don't really like that it's all connected. But it's like it's been connected since day one.
But
So,
fatigue
like,
also
it's not
doesn't
like
say
it's
I
new.
don't. Fatigue also doesn't necessarily mean they could just be like, man, this has just been a lot. Like fatigue could be this has been a lot. I'm already invested. Sure, I'm going to keep on it, but it's still been a lot. Like I get someone saying that. That's
We're
the thing.
going to phase 5, Didge. Like you could have said that at 3 or 2.
And they
Well-
probably did.
Well, but this is what you're missing. This is what you're missing.
Step out
Juwaan.
then.
This is what you're missing, though, right? You're saying it's been that way since the beginning. Yes. And phase 1 was Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, and the Avengers.
2 movies a year.
Yeah, 2 movies a year, 6 movies total. We're in phase 4, and we just listed that there's like 7 projects in 1 year alone, which was the entirety of phase 1. That's where the fatigue, again, not saying you hate the MCU or you're completely sick of it. It's just
So
it's
hold
a
on.
lot.
So you're saying you'd feel better if I just spaced it out more? That's all I got to do? Put some commas and
Honestly,
be better?
Yeah, if you did 2 shows a year and
he did
3
lead off
movies, it'd
saying
be a
that
little
it's coming
easier.
too quickly. He did leave. That was his first statement.
That was the first thing I
everything-
said.
That everything is coming way too quickly. That was literally the first thing he said. And that,
You say quickly, I say not quick enough. I'd love Black Panther to come out next month. Like to me, that's a gap. Nothing's necessarily
huge gap.
occupying. Like,
it's the same
you know what
thing.
I'm saying? And again, I don't even know what in She-Hulk will lead me to what is happening in Black Panther. Might be nothing, right? So it might be one of those where it's like, well, I don't know when this will pay off, but I watched it. You know what I'm saying?
Even,
So I'm
but
like,
it's not
there's
even
gaps.
on the people that's watching it either. That's why the whole thing about the VFX has been coming out, because again, phase 1 was 7 films. A year is 7 projects where they use the same VFX. I'm sure like the same probably 8 or 9 companies. Now you, instead of doing 2 or 3 projects a year, now you got 7. Like,
Oh, shut up and make my She-Hulk show.
but see, that's the
VFX
thing. Like, that's
Give
what.
a damn
So
about
fatigue,
VFX.
fatigue doesn't only just come from the viewer; it comes from the people that's making it. So
I tell
it's-
you what, the people making it get paid. I gotta pay you to watch it.
they don't get paid as much
Suck
as
it
you
up.
think, though. That's
I
the
don't get
thing.
paid at all to watch it. There's a difference.
Like-
if I got paid somewhat, then I can make that argument. I don't get
Listen,
paid at all. Suck it up. Do it.
I feel bad for those people, but you can quit.
But then if you
I'm
do
just
that,
saying. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. Like,
and then think about that. They all say we don't want to take Marvel as a client anymore, and then your movies don't come out.
no,
you're gonna
somebody
be-
else coming in.
I don't know. The reports have been they're not as
Listen.
enticing as a client anymore. That's the thing.
You say that,
You
but
say
there
that.
is some
Your
kid
movie
fresh
stuff
out of
coming out.
college that's like, I'll fucking do it. I'll do it. How much you paying? $2? I'll fucking do it. I'll do
Just
it.
get more
Give a
people, right?
shit. Yeah, do more people. That's it.
Horrible.
That's it. That's
That's
it. The
horrible.
likelihood of
It
Disney.
is, but
I'm just
it's
saying,
so
no,
horrible.
Trayvon,
It is,
Trayvon,
but-
I'm with you because the likelihood of us coming to a day to where it's just like, damn, nobody wanted to work with Disney. I can't see that. Like,
I mean,
I just can't see that.
there probably won't ever be a day where no one will, but it's going to. It could feasibly create a loss in the quality
It's not,
if
look,
more and more people don't want to do it, and now you got more and more people having to do 2 or 3
But-
or 4 or 5 films.
But Didge, if that happens, that's feeding right into what Mike's been asking for. Then they got to halt and slow down on how much shit they put out in the year. So there you go. It's a
And
win-win, Mike.
there's already reports that they want to slow down and
Yeah,
like
this might be a win-win.
change up the way they do it.
Slow down.
They
Not
should,
for
to
them.
be
It's
honest.
just
Like,
Change the way they do their visual effects, like
No, I need to get to
pressure.
you can, because there have been shaky VFX in their previous movies. You've
For sure.
noticed it,
100%.
and it's been coming more and more as they ramped up how many more they're gonna do, because they're putting it's the same thing as in the video game industry. You start putting people under crunch, quality starts to go, people start getting fatigued.
Okay. Like Trayvon said, get the fuck up out of here.
That's so
Joel,
ridiculous.
Joel, what are your thoughts, Joel?
One of my
Look,
What
like,
are
I
your
mean,
thoughts? Get the fuck up out of here. No, but all jokes aside, what are your thoughts?
we love y'all. Good work.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh
what are
my
your thoughts,
god!
Joel?
But ask me after I see Black Panther. That's what I'll say if I love
Damn.
y'all.
I am back from social media and I'm really
just not as interesting characters. Well, the characters you don't know. That's why.
Yeah. I am always curious if people feel the same after watching the said show. Like, I didn't really give a fuck about that character.
No. Who?
What'd you say, Joel?
What did you say? I'm asking.
Oh, no, I was saying I'm curious if people still feel that way after they watch, like, characters they didn't know about.
They didn't know.
They're still just like, yeah, I don't really care.
Trayvon, did you feel that way after watching Moon Knight?
Moon Knight.
Wait,
that was
say it again, Mike.
I was just saying, I felt that way after Moon Knight, personally. I just didn't care.
No, I mean, I didn't really. I mean, you know, y'all heard how I was about Moon Knight, but am I going to sit here and say, "Oh, no more, make any more"? No.
No, I was talking about specifically Juwaan's
keep it
question
rolling,
of.
keep it rolling.
No, I was talking about specifically
Last
Juwaan's
show
question of not caring about the character even after watching their show.
Yeah.
No, what'd you say, Didge? I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was asking Trayvon, did he particularly care about Moon Knight after watching the show? Because he didn't necessarily seem to care about the character prior to it.
Got you. But also ask Trayvon why. He hyped the fuck out of Moon Knight before he watched it. And then it wasn't any of what he expected.
I told you why.
That's the difference.
That's
Disney's
fault. I can tell you why.
I tell you this right now. When we were hyping Moon Knight, it's magic, it's flying. Trayvon was like, "Oh shit!"
It was it was y'all, and it was also Disney. Okay, that's how I explained it many times. They put the parental controls on right before the show came out. They put all the Netflix shows on it right before. No. They did. It's their fault. It's their fault.
I get it. All I'm saying is, Didge, I respect it. You didn't like Daredevil before. You still don't like him now. I can respect it. Trayvon sets the expectations, and when they're not met.
I got it. This is why Didge is saying all this. He's saying this Didge because he's getting ready to be in She-Hulk, and that's why you mad. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. That is it. That is it. This is why you're saying the things you're saying. This is it.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
That's
it. Kind of order. Hold on.
It's a conspiracy.
Let's go to Joel before we move out of this.
That's it.
Go ahead, Joel.
That's it.
All right.
That was funny.
Here's my thing about fatigue. I can't speak to it. I'm not that person. I'm obviously not that person. The characters I don't know, I want to know. And I never walk away from a project unhappy. It's just very rare. I may have liked if they changed certain things or if they did certain things differently, but I'm never upset. This is like what we're experiencing now in the superhero movie world is something I've wanted for the longest time. I can't imagine being tired of it. I live for it. I talk about it every week, or else I wouldn't care for it. You know what I mean? I run a Facebook page, and like 5 people fucking care, and you know what I mean? Like, and it's like it matters that they care enough to actually give a shit. So,
right.
And I report what I need to report, and it's all about this superhero shit that we're talking about. You're tired of. Well, some people are tired. Again, I don't understand. You say tired. I don't understand that because I don't know how that feels. You know what I mean? Like I can't relate. You know what I mean? Like I cannot at all relate with any of that feeling because this is all awesome. like Marvel, DC, especially what we're getting from Marvel. It's singular to Marvel. It's not something that's with everything else. And I understand people getting tired because it is a lot. And I know a lot of people in my life that want to watch it. It's just I say 20-something movies and they're like, nah, I'm good. That's a lot for a lot of people. If people at work, they're like, I want to, but there's just so much. And I'm like, you're not me, so I understand that you're not gonna care enough to sit there and watch. And I'm literally going through it all right now. I do it once a year, bro. It's what I like to do. I don't skip anything. You know what I mean? It's my passion. I'm not everyone. I understand I'm not like everyone else. I understand it's hard for people. I understand it's tired, and I love. But my favorite thing is when they come to me and ask. I love to explain it, but I'm like, you gotta do the work. You gotta. Sometimes you gotta sit there and watch it for you to understand. I want you to watch something, at least this part of it, so this hits a little bit more. You could watch it and not care. Like watching No Way Home and never watching any Spider-Man movie would be the worst thing in the world. Because like, what's the point? And that's extra homework. That's nothing to do with the MCU.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's extra credit. Right.
Insane. to do the work that you
Black
need.
Bolt was extra credit. I'm just saying, I watched it.
I am.
That was extra credit for me. It was
I'm
extra
not
mean-
normal. I'm not normal.
Joel makes a
I
good
was
point.
excited.
Joel makes a good point. I think like I said, I've always grown up on my cartoons being so connected, right? So it's the idea of I've
So
always wanted to
different.
see it from the movies.
Mhm.
So I'm like, the movies had never done that. We would get a Superman movie, a fucking decade later, a Batman movie, another decade later, a Superman movie, and it's like, why can't they fucking meet, right? Like,
Yeah.
why can't they just meet and then
Like-
meet others and then
Like
meet
those
others?
people that
Like-
want the DC to stay separated. I'm like, I've lived that my whole life.
right,
Like, why would I want to see that again? I've been there. I've done that.
right.
Like, can I just give me something that I've seen? The cartoons is what we're used to, right? You just said it.
Yeah.
Justice League Unlimited, Batman Animated, Superman. That was a giant
Listen, Young
world.
Justice. Listen,
Right.
Everything connected. Young Justice, that's all in one show.
amazing.
And like, it's just that.
And-
That's all I want to see in live action.
You know what's even more frustrating is the idea that a lot of these characters, we have not even seen them fully flesh out their own world and keeping it separate, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's-
I would have loved to have seen Batman start with a young Robin grows up, becomes night, like that whole,
yeah,
right?
stop
Because I'm
watching.
like, if you told me, hey, Juwaan, I'm just going to do 8 movies of like the Batman universe. Cool. Then I'm going to do 8 movies of the Superman universe. Cool. I'd even take that. I'd take that. If that they're not necessarily all blended yet, because you just want to flesh out the individual characters' entire universe, like entire arc first, I would accept that. But it didn't even seem like that was something people wanted to do for the longest time. So it's like, well, shit, you're gonna sporadically give me Batman movies where some are good, some are shit. Well, I mean, no, I want one singular Batman over the course of the next fucking decade, right? So I never have to worry about, well, shit, you might cast fucking whoever the fuck is this character now. I gotta sit through this shit, right? So it's like, for me, I'm, you know what, Mike? I'll even say to your point before we move on, I would take that if other universes wanted to do that, to where you want to fully flesh out the universe of these individual characters, and then at a moment find a way to blend it all together. I'd be fine with that.
I'm fine with that too.
But I would rather someone be willing to do that, to where I get Superman, then I get Kara, then I get, Steel, then I get Superboy. Like, I get all of that. So by the time you blend the entire universe together, everybody exists. You could do a Justice League Unlimited and then go back to your own, your own franchise.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'd be fine with that.
Sorry, but yeah, that goes back to something that I've been saying forever, is that superheroes are just, as much as I enjoy the movies, they're better suited for TV. They really are. Where you have 2 seasons of Arrow, right? And then you just throw in Barry Allen there, and then he spins off into his own show, and now they work together and crossover. That way, that is way more manageable, because when you think about it, it'd be really hard to have Dick Grayson be Robin for enough time for him to grow up and be Nightwing.
It's true.
The actor playing Batman would already be pushing Dark Knight Returns age by the time you get to Jason Todd being Robin.
We've always said, like, for Robert Pattinson's Batman, I don't want a Robin that's 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm fine with 16, 17, 18, because he's already in his 30s. So I'm fine if he's that age, right? And then he's Robin for a few movies. You say however much time has passed, now he wants to become Nightwing.
But that's the
You know what
thing.
I'm
You
saying?
say a
It's
few
manageable.
movies. How many is that? Like, how many Batman movies can Robert Pattinson feasibly do to get that kid to be Nightwing, and then have
To get him to be Nightwing?
yeah, like it would take another 2, 3. Like, is Robert Pattinson going to be willing to do 5 Batman movies anyway?
See, that's the thing. When you start, if you want to embark down that journey, you ask these people, are you willing to do X amount? You don't have to do it every year, every other year, but are you willing to do this many fucking appearances?
Make it count.
And if the answer is yes, bada bing, bada boom, right? Or now that you have streaming services, guess what? You could do the Batman movie, right? And then if you want to say, okay, this time has passed, you could do a Nightwing show where you're exploring the idea that now he kind of wants to just be on his own. You explore it there, then you bring it back into the movie when it's time. So I'm like, there's ways to definitely do this. And again, Robin is that's a very different situation than most. Because with Kara, you don't have to worry about that. With Aqualad, you don't have to worry about that. You can start Aqualad out at whatever age you want, right? So I'm like, that's specific to just Robin. So that's not even a problem you have to worry about with everybody.
Yeah, I just like I was saying, that just kind of goes to my point of superheroes probably work better on TV, but at this point, Warner Brothers and Disney are going to be like, yeah, we still want our billion-dollar movies though. So
100%. But that's why you should rely. You should rely on your streaming service to do, because Nightwing would be an awesome show, right? Yeah. You put money behind it, it'd be a great show, right? Batgirl, great show. That could be a great show. Put money behind it, great show. Kara, Supergirl could be a great show.
Don't tell that to the hash-slinging slasher.
He won't understand it. I got you. So I'm saying there's just so many ways to where you could do what you're saying, and it kind of reduces that said fatigue. But I think if you're MCU, you're in it. There's no necessarily switching it up that drastically. You're fucking in it, right? You're in it.
It's also
but everybody else can follow that.
It's also why it's such a strong brand.
Right.
Like, people watch Marvel because they feel like they need to.
Right.
That's not no one. There's no thing else that has that. No. People have like I want to watch it because I feel like I need to watch it. You feel like you're doing homework. They're like, I don't care. Give me the money. They're like, it's coming in, so it works for them. They know, and it's like, even if it's kind of like manipulating the audience to the point where like you gotta watch everything. You don't have to watch everything, but you want to think you watch everything, so they get you to watch everything.
We saw this.
They announced, I'm gonna see it. That's it.
But we saw this in real time. We saw this in real time when we were breaking down WandaVision each week. We were seeing the internet explode for people that didn't give a fuck about the show, but wanted to be included in the conversation. So, fuck it, I'm gonna just watch it so I know what the fuck's happening, right? So I can talk shit about it or praise it or whatever the hell, right?
And then X-Men extra credit.
Wait, say it again?
X-Men extra credit for WandaVision.
Right.
You know,
to even know who the hell that person is supposed to be.
Because some people were like, "Who the hell is that?" I was like, "Oh."
So for me, I really.
For fans, it's huge. Yeah. It's big, like, oh my god. And then for people that don't watch anything, they're like, what?
Imagine you didn't know Patrick Stewart.
Imagine
people that didn't know, like,
there's at least most of the audience
didn't even know the music. Didn't know the music, nothing. Imagine
the music I can give you, right? Because not everybody watched the cartoon. They should, but not everybody did. But to not recognize Patrick Stewart as Xavier, that's just like, well, damn, you were trying your hardest not to watch those movies.
Like, oh shit, those movies connect to this shit.
Most people probably wouldn't know who Captain Marvel was right there. Like, who's that? If they didn't see the movie, like, you know, it's just so many little things that were just like, if you saw everything, you got paid off.
From The Office?
What the fuck is happening?
My sister said, "Oh, it's Jim." I was like,
"Yeah, it is Jim."
Yeah, it is. But
well, to be fair, it is. All right. So to ride on the wave of this, let's go. That X-Men theme was done just for us. Yeah, but but then you get people that complain, Mike, about too much fan service. And it's like, well, shit, they can't win anywhere. like you give me too many movies, you give me fan service. It's
that's
like,
not true, bro. Black Bolt, I think, gained the most from that scene because everyone's like, "Who the fuck was that?"
I was so shocked. I was like, "They what?" I was like,
that was a big question because he looked drastically different than the last time somebody might have seen.
That's what he's supposed to look like. What the fuck was that?
But all right, let's stay on this same wave. Let's move to apparently Mark Ruffalo claims that Star Wars is formulaic, right? As opposed to Marvel, that apparently is forever growing. Changes by the
Mark
day.
Ruffalo said,
he teamed up with Trayvon for this one. 100%.
I loved it.
Yeah, I just hopped back in to just say I got major PTSD from Black Bolt because I paid to watch Inhumans in IMAX because I had to review it.
I did too, brother.
And so watching Inhumans in IMAX again shook me to my core. I was terrified. I'm like, oh god.
I remember when Joel said that. I was just like, ew,
I paid to see that shit. Worst thing
I would have.
Worst thing ever.
I didn't hate it.
It's the worst.
You didn't hate it?
The hair was awful. That was it.
A lot more than that. It was awful.
Lockjaw was cool. Now,
Trayvon, okay. Right, we're not going to get into an Inhumans conversation, but I will say this, Trayvon. It's a little bit more disrespectful than you're making it. Medusa's whole power is her fucking hair, and it was shaved off. You essentially rendered her useless.
And not at first. Not at first.
I'm sorry, they gave you 5 minutes.
The worst costume department ever.
Goodness gracious! All right. So Mark Ruffalo's exact quote was, "If you watch Star Wars, you're pretty much going to get the same version of Star Wars each time. You're always really in that same kind of world. But with Marvel, you can have a whole different feeling, even within the Marvel universe." Now, see,
He's
this
not
is what
wrong.
this is what I don't like. Okay, I don't ever like when fandoms try to pit me against other fucking fandoms. Because what we're not gonna fucking do, Mark Ruffalo, is try to tell me that all these Star Wars movies feel the same, but these Marvel movies are drastically different from each other. There is a formula in Marvel, Mark Ruffalo, 100%. It's a successful one. Go ahead, Trayvon. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let's not attack Mark Ruffalo. He's not.
Oh,
wrong
I'm gonna
here.
shit down his throat.
He is not.
You don't gotta
wrong.
worry about that.
He
Pants is
not
all the way down
wrong.
for this one. I believe he's fully wrong.
Everyone I'm on a dusty planet. I'm just saying. Everyone the Star Wars movies, they're on a dusty planet and creaking ships.
I think we did get like 3 in a row that were fucking Tatooine. That's a good point. But like,
yeah, just saying. At least we got some different genres in the Marvel movies. I'm just it's all
Go ahead, Mike. I see you jumped in. Go ahead, Mike.
Force Awakens and A New Hope are the same movie. I'm just saying.
Well, see, time out. Here's the difference, though.
30 years apart.
Here's the difference, though. We faulted J.J. Abrams or Kathleen Kennedy, whoever's fucking idea it was, for structuring those 3 movies to be exactly like their predecessors. But I can't say that the original 3 and the prequels are exactly the same, that they're formulaic. They're not. But if you want to tell me that the new trilogy is like the original trilogy, that's because they tried to do that. Why? I don't fucking get it. But that was an intentional thing.
That's the thing, though. You're splitting hairs there, because if we're looking at the Star Wars universe, like Joel just said, 5 projects straight, we're on Tatooine. And if you don't,
he
want to
said
count,
projects. I'm guessing. So we're on
Kenobi,
Kenobi,
Boba Fett. Mm-hmm.
I can't count to 5 of that. No, I don't.
5
is wild.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's
regardless, I wasn't being literal. My point still stands is that the new
2 episodes,
the new Disney Lucasfilm projects are still in the Star Wars universe, and if they do mirror the original 6, that's where people are basing this argument off of. It's not, whatever George Lucas did is vastly different. It's like, but now it's not really that much different.
No,
I disagree, but I totally understand where a person who's just watching these casually.
There's not been a completely different genre in any of these things. To be
genre,
honest.
no, but
you don't get a WandaVision in Star Wars. I'm just saying.
No, but hold on, and I get it because these were Mark Ruffalo's comments. I do get it, but again, that is a overarching thing, though. Marvel is so fucking unique, right? It's just drastically unique. DC gave you 1 movie that was drastically different than anything they've put out in the entire universe they've built. And that was Joker, right? The thing that felt drastically different. So I'm saying that's a formula that other people don't have, right? To where you're just creating things that are drastically different from each other. I'm just saying when I watch the original 3 of Star Wars and then watch the prequels, they don't feel the same. They don't feel the same to me at all. Now, if you want to compare the original 3 and these new ones, that was a more targeted decision, right? That wasn't more so like, it's just the formula we're adding to. They tried to make it like the original 3. I don't get it, but they did. All I'm saying is Star Wars has had a complete, reworking, right? So I'm saying the idea of doing a comedy for Star Wars, we're starting to see that. We just got anime Star Wars. We're starting to branch into getting more creative with Star Wars. But there was I also think, really quick, Dig, I'm going to pass it right to you. I really think we also need to remember there was a large fucking gap where there was nothing for Star Wars, right? We're talking about 15 consecutive years of the MCU to allow itself to grow and become different. Star Wars just came back, almost 6, 7, 8 years ago, right? And then the movies they did, people shat on them. So now they were like, okay, let's do something different. Mandalorian. right? Mandalorian does not feel like anything else Star Wars. It feels very different. It feels more Western, way more Western than necessarily anything else Star Wars, right? Okay. So I'm like, they're trying to implement things to where it has a different feel. But I'm sorry, Ditch. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, actually, that was going to be my major point right there. Cause I don't remember who said it earlier. It was like Star Wars doesn't do things that are different genres. Mm-hmm. And The Mandalorian. Okay, so I thought it was you.
Yeah,
but I wasn't sure. So, but yeah, for sure. The Mandalorian is the perfect example of them starting that.
Right.
You've already hit the nail on the head that Star Wars had such a huge break where we're just now starting to get exploding storylines from other different parts of the Star Wars universe. But The Mandalorian is them showing that, okay, not everything has to be that space opera.
Right.
So, now you have your Western show. You know, like you said, we got the anime.
Yeah.
Everything. It's a wild statement. Yeah, Rogue One. That's not a space opera.
Yeah.
No. That's like Suicide Squad. That movie is legit like Suicide Squad. Like, hey, we know we might die here. But
Andor, from everything that they're saying about Andor, it sounds like it's going to be sort of like political drama.
Yeah, so that's more so than what Mark Ruffalo was saying. But go ahead, Didge. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's a weird statement to make from such an established franchise. And I get it on its head. It's weird to say Star Wars isn't an established franchise, but in terms of being able to branch out into an entire universe, it kind of is, because up until really the past maybe, like you said, 7, 8, 9, whatever years, everything has been so solely focused on that one storyline of the Skywalker saga. Where now, even these stories, even though they're inside the Skywalker saga still, so to speak, you're sort of branching out, showing the universe as a whole.
Right. Because to me, people shat on those 3 movies so much. You kind of had Kathleen Kennedy wanting to shake shit up, right? Like, those movies sucking is why I think Kathleen Kennedy said, you know what? Fuck it. Favreau wants to do this Mandalorian fucking shit, whatever. Do it, right? Do it. Let's see what it does. And it changed the game because people didn't feel like, hey, I have to know who a Skywalker is, right? So it was more so like, this is new. This is different, right? So to me, I'm just saying Star Wars is now starting to enter its stride. Now, if we go 5 years from now and all this shit is more, we're on this deserted planet and this shit and here's a Skywalker, then I can give that to you. But to me, in this new run, they have not been around long enough for me to warrant saying, nah, that shit's all formula. It's just doing all the same shit. No, they're starting to branch off into new shit, but you got to give them the longevity you gave Marvel. You know what I'm saying?
But don't get mad at him for saying that. He's talking about what's come before.
It's incomplete, though, because I'm saying Star Wars, if you're speaking of Star Wars being around for 40 years, sure.
You're looking at it from your point of view. I'm pretty sure Mark hasn't seen all the Star Wars stuff.
I'm pretty sure.
Right.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Right.
Wait, say it again, Mike?
I said, well, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil. All things are true from a certain point of view. Is the point.
Right? No, I get you.
I guess my thing is, what's the point of him even saying this? Who's asking Mark?
Exactly. Who asked him the question?
Who's asking about Star Wars?
Somebody set him up.
Yeah.
No, like I said, the only reason why this was a little bothersome to me is because, like I said, it's just incomplete. It's like someone saying, "Man, all DC movies feel the same." There hasn't been a stride hit yet. like they haven't been able to consistently build.
I know people that say all Marvel movies feel the same. I don't understand that logic, but I know a lot of people that feel that way.
I know people that have seen it all that feel as though there is a formula that they stick to and that they've wrote out to this point. I don't agree, but that is something that I hear a lot from people who have actually seen all the movies and shows up to date. That it's it's a formula that they follow that they've stuck with from the beginning all the way to now, right?
That's what's so funny to me about Mark Ruffalo. Like Mark Ruffalo, one of the biggest actors in the MCU, which gets criticized for being formulaic, is like, oh, Star Wars follows the same formula. It's like, dude, sit down. What the heck?
Yeah,
I love you, Mark. I love you, Mark.
It very much read like the call is coming from inside the house.
100%.
That sounds like a little shady.
100%. I'm just saying. I think it's a low blow.
You think I'm being shady about it?
You said it.
You alluded to it.
You definitely alluded to that. I definitely heard that. Sounds like that was a little shade there. That looked off to the
side. So Trayvon, we'll pass it to you because we see where you're going with this, but I want you to elaborate your thoughts on his comments.
I mean, I've already said it. I mean, like I said, almost all these movies, they're on a dusty planet and some ships that, creaking and shit, It's the same shit every time, but it's still, look, Mandalorian is very fun. Boba Fett, you know how I felt. Look, I'm just saying. I enjoyed
it too.
Maybe, was it 3 episodes of it? Yeah, about 3 episodes of it. Because the rest of it, he was in the back of the tank. Or not in the back of the tank. I don't know what's going on. But in the last 3 episodes, hitting. The last 3 were hitting, especially the Mando episode. That was great. But I'm just saying, Mando was great. Mando's fun.
Mando's different.
I'm ready to get to what is this? What is this thing? Acolyte thing, whatever it is. Something that's like way before the Skywalkers. Let's see that. Let's see something that's like has nothing to do with them. Let's because everything else. Everything else still does have something to do with them, technically.
But that's where we are now, though, Trayvon. That's my point. That's where we are.
Not yet. No, we're not.
How are we not there yet?
We're still there.
There's no Skywalker project coming out. Like
all these things are still in that. They're still in that area.
They're still alive.
They are.
They're still
he makes up a good point.
They're still breathing, but none of there's no Skywalker.
Look,
they're not the focus though.
That's my point. They're not the focus. But again, these are times that unfortunately George Lucas has riddled with Skywalkers. And if you want to truly blame somebody, blame Kathleen Kennedy for these newer movies where you could have built working away from them. You've now expanded it. You've now expanded it.
I get what I get why.
No. I'm saying you've now expanded the Skywalker name to where now in The Mandalorian, you look at it and you're like, well, this show can only go but for so long before the whole fucking Kylo Ren storyline comes in, right? And you're like, well, you're back to where you started from. So that's why I'm saying you can blame them for that, but all these other projects are trying their best to work around it, but you can't avoid it. That's like saying, hey, I never want to see or hear anything Iron Man again. That's impossible in the MCU.
Well,
the man is so ingratiated to the MCU. That's why he was saying the
Acolyte, because that's 150 or so years before the fall of the Jedi. So that makes sense. His statement makes sense. But I want to see so ahead of it.
We're heading more towards it. That's what I'm saying. We're heading more towards getting out of focusing on anything Skywalker.
That, though. I mean, you see that. I don't see that.
Taika's project had nothing to do with Skywalkers. Patty Jenkins' project had nothing to do with Skywalkers. Acolyte had nothing to do with Skywalkers. But I'm saying, even if it doesn't happen, it has nothing to do with it. That's my point. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I don't know where the Patty Jenkins project was going to be set.
And we don't know what the Taika one is.
Taika doesn't know what his is going to be. Well, last I saw, he said he's still thinking.
I believe because Kathleen Kennedy did allude to it. I believe they understand that they want to get away from.
And I welcome that.
They should. To be honest,
that just hasn't happened yet.
The sequel trilogy shouldn't have been.
I agree.
Have been a part
That's
of it.
What I'm saying. Yeah, I agree. That's where they fucked up. I agree. That's what I'm saying.
I'll be a little hypocrite. I'm very excited about Ahsoka. I'm just saying. But it is still in.
No, hell no.
I'm just saying it's still all in this Skywalker.
And if
world.
you think for a goddamn second Luke Skywalker ain't popping his monkey flipping head in that Ahsoka series,
I just said it's still in the Skywalker world.
You just made the whole argument. I'm ready to get out of it. But
what did you say? I said yes. I am a little bit hypocritical for Ahsoka because I am excited.
A little hypocritical.
But I'm just saying.
All right. Well, start off with the hypocritical. Start off with that.
No. You don't get to do that to me. No.
Yes, he is a personal instigator. Right,
That's
both
fine,
sides
I'll
of the
take that.
goddamn
I'll
fence.
take that.
Goodness
Damn
gracious.
you,
I'm enjoying all this goddamn content. Okay. How about
Joel,
that?
what are your thoughts on Mark Ruffalo's comments?
I don't care. They're cool. I don't necessarily disagree with them, but
You're an old man.
I already told you how I feel about it. We're definitely in a different time now where they're trying to expand Star Wars in different directions. So it's not as formulaic, and it's been great. I almost prefer it on television than I even do in the movies. I didn't hate the new trilogy like everyone else does. It's just we're finally getting there, though. There's definitely a difference now where you can I didn't care about Mandalorians nearly as much as I do now. You know what I mean? There's a whole new difference. There's a whole new light for me. I'm like, that's cool because all I cared about growing up was Jedi. You know what I mean?
As
because they were the coolest things in the world. But
absolutely.
But there was so much more to Star Wars that we didn't get to see because they just focused on this, you know what I mean? And that's pretty much what I assume he's thinking about. It's kind of you kind of know what you're getting most of the time with Star Wars. Well, now you don't. Now it's very different. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I just believe that saying this as Star Wars is changing kind of feels low because it's well, bro, they're doing that. It's not even they're just talking about it. They're actually implementing it. Mandalorian, the anime series, right? They're starting to implement it, but we can't act as if it's been the same for 15 years straight, right? That's where it bothered me a little bit. It's changing, and now you're just well, fuck them. They're the same thing.
I'm pretty sure he's not watching a lot of that new stuff, so I don't. That's why he doesn't realize it.
That's fine. I just hope people know going forward. Yeah, just don't ask him about Star Wars. But Mike, did you want to add something before we moved on?
I just have one last thing to say. Mark Ruffalo plays the Incredible Hulk, and he doesn't even smash anything anymore. He has no right to say anything to anybody.
Hey, that's evolution.
You're fucking with my Hulk.
That's what it means. You could get Smashing Hulk and Smart Hulk now. There's diversity. You know what I mean? Never thought I'd get Smart Hulk.
I love this Hulk, so I don't know what y'all talking about.
I like it. I'm just saying. Well, my point is, I think I know what he's talking about. This is going to be a comedy. She-Hulk's going to be a comedy. Mm-hmm. How many of these shows are built to be that way? Straight up sitcoms almost.
Right, but couldn't you make an argument that's the difference? WandaVision and She-Hulk are the anomalies of the entire MCU.
But but that's what I mean. There's a diverse, the movies and even some shows are just so different, and because certain characters are so different.
Right, but
that's one of Star Wars.
That's to my point, though, Joel.
That's a good question too.
But that's to my yes, I would, and I have a perfect idea for a Star Wars.
I don't know if I'd have to hear that. I'd have to hear that. But just on its head, Star Wars plus comedy.
Okay, so all right, so I'm gonna pitch it right now. Right?
Spaceball.
The Death Star, but it's The Office. It's from the point of view of all the workers on the Death Star, right? And you don't see Darth Vader or Palpatine. They're Michael Scott to a degree, is somebody like an admiral you're bringing in, and it's the idea of working in all of this fucking chaos. Right? And you're just trying to do your job. That's it. You're just trying to do your job.
Fire the shit again. Damn.
That's what I want. all you hear in the hallway, is Vader choking somebody out, right? The Office, but in the Death Star.
That actually might work.
It's almost like Lower Decks.
That's like that.
Star Trek Lower
Decks. They did that. They did a parody thing, and I used to
follow on SNL.
Death Star. No, there used to be a YouTube kind of like Death Star HR or something like that.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm thinking. Yep. Yeah.
Fair.
So I'm you could, but again, to your point, Joel, the MCU is implementing these things now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Undercover boss kit. Yeah.
That one was funny too.
I think about that
was gold. That shit was.
That's obviously. I don't know if I could work an office setting type of show, and that'd be kind of off-putting for me. But
not really. Just don't connect it to anything. Just say that it's its own thing.
It's literally you would have to say it's just.
It's its own thing. It's meant to just be a comedy. Yeah, it's meant to just be.
It don't have to be separate. It'd be more funny to think that it is happening there.
Well, you know what's funny?
It has to be separate because if I'm watching the movie that's supposed to be very serious and you're bringing the aspects of how drastically comical that is to my serious movie, no, thank you.
No, not in the movie. You have to show separate. But when the movie comes, don't say it separate. Just this is still very much in the world. But while you're watching it, that other people go through hell.
References.
You don't see it, but it's just that they are going through shit in there. That'd be fun.
I don't like, and I state this now, I don't like Star Trek. I'm not a Star Trek person.
Oh, I'm not either at all.
Amen.
But I'm
Amen.
going to reference a show that's called Lower. It's a cartoon, and it's basically a comedy, right? And it's going to connect to the live action show,
Yes.
and it's soon. Like, and they're gonna have real life interpretations of those characters show up on the show, and I'm like, that's fucking cool. Like, and that show is good, and that's the first Star Trek show I think I've ever liked, which is
well, Orville to a degree.
Orville's
if you count
Orville's its own thing that is very much a clone of
That's
Star
Star
Trek.
Trek, right?
It's probably does Star Trek better than Star Trek these days, right? 'Cause I know a lot of Star Trek purists that prefer the Orville now.
Chris Pine is sitting somewhere like, hey.
I like those movies too. J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies are pretty good.
I honestly didn't like those like that either.
I like the first two. That
Yeah, I like
last
the
one
first
was. Y'all didn't even try. You were just
I didn't
fucking right.
You know what's funny? I know a lot of Star Trek purists that prefer the third movie.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, we're moving on. What the fuck kind of shit is that?
We're also not Star Trek purists, so that's
There you
why.
go. See?
That's
That
what I
is
mean.
very true. That
what I
is
mean.
very true. That
The
is
first
very
one's
true.
great. The third one's awesome. The second one sucks. Coming from a
It's
Trekkie.
not bad. Come on. Look at
Oh my god, that third one was so horrible. I almost hated Idris Elba. I almost said, "Fuck you, Idris. Fuck you and everything you do going forward." Luckily, I calmed down, but damn, did that make
When
me
I
go,
woke
"Oh."
up, I was pissed.
How dare you put me to sleep for all the money I spent? God damn it! All right, so let's stay in the MCU. All right, so Mike, if you can bring up the next two phases for us up on screen. All right, I want to break this down. All right, I was thinking about this as we head
You're scared
into
of people that have
She-Hulk.
fatigue.
It's okay. You guys can skip this one. You can pay attention to the next episode.
Those that are feeling
You're-
Don't
fatigue,
look, fatigue people.
may I
Don't look.
suggest taking deep breaths and walking away.
So, I want to start with you, Joel.
Me,
Looking at these two phases here that we're heading into,
euphoric.
how important are these next two phases for the future of the MCU?
It's very open-minded. Yeah. I mean, of course they're important. If they suck, it's not going to be good at all. Yeah, it's not going to be a good look. So yeah, it's important that they nail all this coming, because a lot of this is foundations for the even beyond that,
Future.
right? Yeah, because right now you're reestablishing characters that are taking on new roles and introducing new characters and putting them in bigger positions. And now you're introducing new and more new characters and setting up more characters beyond that. That it's like it's very important that they nail this, obviously. And look, a lot of this looks very delicious. You know what I mean? I love it. I love everything I'm looking at.
No, he did not say
Sure
delicious.
does, sure
Damn.
does, sure does. Scrumptious.
This shit looks delicious. Okay, so
Scrumptious.
while your mouth is watering, Trayvon, I'll pass it to you. How important is it to get these next two phases? Correct?
No, I'm not worried. You know, MCU's been proven. It will be just fine. I think they're, Quantumania. I'm looking. You know, we don't really know. That's the fun of it all. You know, because these movies are fun.
Yeah, I know where your eyes are going, Trayvon.
You're gonna
Your
hit
eyes are
bumps.
skipping around.
And that's fine. That's fine.
Trayvon's eyes are skipping around.
We can hit some bumps, and that's fine. You know,
Yeah,
as long as we get past this phase 5. Marvel, we get the Marvels, getting the rest of it, and then we get down to Fantastic Four. That's what then hopefully we get to Deadpool in there somewhere. Like I'm just let's see that. Like I'm this is not even all of it. Y'all listen, fatigue people. I'm so sorry for you, but
wait till next month.
yes, wait till next month. Lawrence will be so much more filled in. Woo.
Y'all stop fucking with the fatigue people. They're tired out here. Stop fucking with them.
They gonna be
I
fine.
feel attacked right now. I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna say I'm not trying to attack you, but
I said, I don't want you to think this is personal. It is, but I don't want you to think it.
y'all not gonna ruin this for me, okay?
Trayvon does feel like the more y'all say it, the more Feige go, you know what? Fuck it, no more. I'll never make another movie.
Y'all talking too much. Y'all talking too much now. Now we got in the title.
Spread it out.
We need
got
to
it.
title this video, to be honest.
Yeah, the way Trayvon's reacting is if Kevin hears this, he'll go, you know what? A movie every 10 years. Fuck it. There you go. You're happy. Every 10 years you get a movie. Trayvon, it won't happen. It's
and then
okay.
y'all be complaining and start shifting dates.
It is coming in quick. Though. Fucking Phase 5 is 2 fucking years. 2.
Yes.
That is true.
I mean, look, the only thing I said the craziest thing on this damn schedule is the damn Avengers movies being that close. I will admit that is the craziest thing on here.
Well, crazy. I don't know. I don't know if they'll keep it because there was a point where Infinity War and Endgame were supposed to be somewhat that close, and they were just like, no fucking way. Because remember, Joel, the plan was to film them back to back. And then the actors were just like, I don't know who the fuck you thought we were, but no. So they spaced it out.
It is doable, but they got to plan. Obviously, it has to be planned ahead of time.
100%. 100%. And if you're dependent on Oscar Isaac, he's going to tell you straight up, bitch. I do my shit by the day. You ain't going to have me do this shit back to back. I might change my mind. But then
you'll be in one movie.
No. Mike, to your exactly, Joel. To your point, Mike, I'm bringing Kang up. I wanted to do this first half of the question. But Dish, how important is it to get these next 2 phases to get them shits to hit right?
I only said that because
important.
Sorry.
If these phases.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Go ahead, real quick, Mike. Go ahead.
That comment was regarding it being scrumptious and delicious. I wasn't sure if we were talking about the slate or if we were talking about Jonathan Majors.
When Trayvon talks, it could be anything. It could be anything. It could be the apple. It could be the man. It could be the slate.
It's definitely the man. It's definitely the
slate. So you take it as you like.
That's all I wanted cleared up. Okay, go ahead, Ditch. Sorry.
No, don't worry. That was a valid question. It's always important because I mean you got to figure if these string of movies don't hit, there's already been the conversation of, is the MCU dwindling? Personally, I don't think so, but maybe more and more people
get in 2 years. Don't worry about it.
But that's for sure. But it's gonna only get louder if these 2 phases don't hit as hard as previous phases. That's when you're gonna start. Phase 5 didn't hit as hard as Phase 4. And people seem to hate Phase 4, so it's like it's gonna always be that weird conversation of
every time
this didn't hit as hard as the last. But it's gonna always be important because everything is so. What have you done for me now?
Yes, absolutely.
Right, 100%.
That's why we're having conversations. Thor didn't hit as hard as we wanted, and that's why those conversations are. I think it's over.
Yeah, Eternals didn't hit as hard.
Didn't hit as hard.
So you're like, damn.
That's not too much on the Eternals.
I like the Eternals.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but consensus was it didn't hit as hard. But that
was the narrative. The narrative was y'all fucking up.
10 projects in 2023. I think that a lot of that can be moved, though. We don't know 100%.
Oh, no. For Mike's sake, I hope this shit is month after month. I hope this shit hits 8 months, 10 months in a row. Right in a row.
Right now, it's really like 9 projects.
And then next year,
it's 10.
All the video games next year, too.
It's those first 3 roles and then Agatha.
You got 9. Where do you see 10?
The first 3 roles, there's 3 in each row, and then Agatha is the 10th one.
3. Quantumania, Guardians,
beautiful,
and Marvels and Blade. Those are the movies. There's 4 movies, right?
And then 6.
What If? I'm not counting What If. That's why.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah,
my
you
bad.
just disregarded it. Joel's like, fuck you.
You know why?
It's not MCU. Technically,
it's animation, and a lot of them are like side stories now. So.
Well, to me, I would agree with you guys, but I know what they say. I saw Captain Carter in the animation, and then I fucking saw her in live action. That shit's connected.
But then they're also different versions of the same character.
Sure, but they're connected.
They had to be different versions, though, because we would have been pissed if they killed her.
Because we're going to see her in What If Season 2. That's why. They don't... It wasn't on the map. You know what I mean?
Watch all of it. Just watch all of it.
Yeah,
I'm going to.
The way Joel said that was... Go ahead.
No, it's just like when you look at the map they gave us, it wasn't on there. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. No, I got you.
But everything that they list MCU as, they do include What If, so you still have to include it.
But it wasn't on the thing, though. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna fucking watch Spider-Man. It's not on there. You know, there's a lot of shit that's not on there.
I get you.
Yeah. You were talking about once a month, Juwaan. I feel like it's going to have to if you're doing 10 projects in a year anyway.
It's easily going to be. It's January they're taking off, then it's going to be February for Quantumania. Secret Invasion is March.
Now, Trayvon,
going into April.
You want to talk about something being
12
delicious.
months. That's not everything, dog.
in the course of these 10 projects, there's sprinkles of all those delicious Star Wars projects too. Mandalorian, Ahsoka,
and whatever the fuck Sony does.
And just sprinkle it in just like Salt Bae. Sprinkle all that.
I'll be playing Hogwarts Legacy. I don't know.
Oh, there you go. Okay. All right, we're gonna move over to DC.
I mean, I'm gonna be playing Hogwarts Legacy in between that too.
I think all of us probably will be. I don't think one serves over the other.
I could learn the killing curse. Let me tell you, everybody's gonna die.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you right now.
The entire game.
I saw he could fly on. Was that a griffin? He could fly on a griffin. Let me find out I can eat a motherfucker with that griffin. Oh, I'll be playing Hogwarts Legacy for days upon days. Just fucking get out of here. I love that game. All right, so let's move on to DC. I really do think it's in the best interest of everybody to stop saying things like this if you want to kind of sell this Black Adam movie properly. Stop trying to piss us off. Like, we understand it. We got over it. Stop reminding us.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, Trey wanted separated.
You know,
right.
You know what it just done to him? It better make $1 billion, sir. It better make $1 billion. It better make $1 billion.
It has a lot of the formula to do so.
If it don't,
cancel. Wait. Time out, Trayvon. You are triggering Didge because not every movie needs to gross $1 billion. Tell him, Didge. Get him,
somebody like him.
Get him, Didge.
It doesn't.
I'm talking about him. Saying for him to be talking like this spicy. This movie better be.
Not necessarily.
To be fair, Trayvon, if you're The Rock, you just have to beat Shazam. If Shazam does more than you, then it's like, well.
Yeah, it can't do it. It has to be Shazam.
How did Shazam be the first movie?
That's what I'm looking now.
Not as good as it should.
I don't remember.
They better beat that.
I think I made like 260 million.
I mean, The Rock alone is going to give you more money than Shazam.
I think that was just domestic.
I'm going to be
Shazam
real.
Made
if they get
366.
All right.
Okay.
That was overall, right?
Yeah, total.
So what was it in domestic?
Domestic was. Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't have it. Oh, 150 or 258.
That's what I thought. See what I mean? I wish it did more. I'm just telling you.
I'm gonna be real. If either Shazam movie got the push that Black Adam is getting, it would have done way better.
I think so too.
Or
just look at the market.
Better, Mike.
Or Black Adam was in them.
If either, yes, thank you, Joe. I was just about to say
there
that.
You go.
Or if you'd fucking put him in it, could have done one.
Or Superman.
But the exact the Superman thing, I would love us to work towards. But he should be in Shazam. There's just no argument.
Imagine it was like fully Superman.
It's so funny. They're so similar looking, like costume wise and
power
wise.
For The Rock to go, I want nothing to do with it.
It's just they're coming out like a month apart now, and it's like that's crazy.
Frustrating. But this is these were the comments. The first draft of Shazam featured origin stories for both Black Adam and Shazam, and we technically got a little bit of Black Adam's origin, just a little sprinkle. Yeah, just a little sprinkle. But the quote, Dwayne Johnson asked Warner Brothers to separate the stories into 2 films. Quote, "I just knew in my gut we can't make this movie like this. We would be doing Black Adam an incredible disservice." Now I want to say this.
AKA, I want to say
this, Rob. Well, yes, 100%. Because I could definitely tell you this, Rock, from the bottom of my heart. There are less than 2% of this world that gave a fuck about Black Adam before you said, I'm going to be Black Adam. A lot of people went, oh, yeah, I do know Black Adam, when that day happened. So there's nobody on earth that would have saw a Shazam movie with Black Adam and went, this is unfair. He deserves his own movie. Nobody. No fucking body. That'd be like if no, I can't even compare it. There is nobody as big as the fucking Rock. There is no comparison to be had, right? But that would be like if Patrick said, you know what, Orm, this character cannot be an Aquaman. He has to have his own series before these two meet. And it's just like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, why would I ever want to do that, right? And then you think to yourself, oh, you're the fucking Rock. That's why I have to do it. Okay, here you go, right? So I'm like,
If I was a stipulation for him to sign, for it to be separate.
Stipulation. The Rock walked in the door and said, "What's my own movie?" And they said, "Well, here's some characters," and he went, "Black Adam. I want that." And it's like, okay, we'll do Shazam. No. No. Is he going to be in my movie? Then no. I don't fucking want it. Like, no, it's not happening. I think this is frustrating, but I give him the benefit of the doubt because there looks like a lot of things. Well, I'm sorry. A lot of things intrigue me of this Black Adam. But it just has to fucking
I'm talking
hit.
about this DCEU.
Yeah, the new hierarchy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all he's doing is making this movie into the most. It's going to become the most criticized movie ever, good or bad, right? Because he's talked so much shit about this
wonder what
movie
year this movie's in.
that you look at it and you're like, well, shit has to hit.
Where's this movie, like the timeline?
What time it takes place in?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
in
it can't
present
be-
day, I'm pretty sure.
It can't be drastically far from where
Right.
Peacemaker and Suicide Squad were.
Right, it has to be around the same.
Because Peacemaker was alluding to Black Adam.
Yeah, they talk about. I think they mentioned Kondak, right?
They mentioned it, and it was the newspaper clipping.
Yeah,
That Kondak was under attack.
Right.
So
There
I'm
we
like, so I'm like, clearly it's supposed to be right around there, but a lot of it might be in the past, blending in with the.
Well, yeah, we're gonna get some flashbacks.
Right. But Didge, I'll start with you. Do you believe The Rock is putting a unbelievable amount of pressure on this movie with his comments by the day?
No.
Okay.
This is sort of what The Rock does with everything that he does. Like he does this with his tequila brand. He does this with the XX. He's doing this with the XFL as we speak.
Yeah.
Like everything The Rock does is promotion for something that he either has his hand in, he's starring in, or he owns. That's just sort of how he built his life post wrestling. So it's par for the course. I think what it is that with everything that's going on with DC, everything seems so just whirlwind all out of the place. Everywhere's up in the air, basically a clusterfuck. And The Rock is acting like none of that is happening. He's acting like DC is the premier brand in the world because he's like, look, I'm going to force this to make whatever I need it to make. So I think it's some of that.
I will say is I pass it to Trayvon, where I think, and again, you're right, this is on brand for him. Where I believe it's dangerous when it comes to Black Adam is that if it does not hit the way you're talking, this becomes, well, shit. What does this create for not only Shazam, but heading into the most questionable year in Warner Brothers history, which is next year, right?
Oh, that means nothing to The Rock, though. He's gonna go on to the next thing.
No,
he's
I
gonna
get
talk
you.
about Terramana the next day.
I get you, but I'm saying what I think is dangerous is the hype that you're building for it. Because if the movie doesn't hit, it then creates narratives for things that come out after.
Oh, that's DC's fault. If that's the thing, then they should have told him to tone it down. Clearly, they must feel just as good. Well, maybe.
Well, to be fair,
they just want money.
To be fair, I was just about to say, if you're Warner Brothers
They
right
don't
now,
care.
you're just like, hey, I need dollars, so
He's doing free promotion.
say whatever.
Go ahead.
Like, say whatever you want to say. I don't give a fuck. Say that you're the face of the DCEU. I don't give a fuck. Say it.
Did you know
Whatever.
Originally I was looking up because I wanted to look up when they first announced this. What were some of the headlines around this when this movie first got announced?
Besides,
I
what
just
the
couldn't
fuck?
remember it. Well, yeah.
Besides, what the fuck?
But originally, before Shazam came out, he was slated to be Captain Marvel, and they were gonna still call it Captain Marvel. And then it just got stuck in developmental hell. And then that's when they said, all right, we're going to do a Shazam film. And, that's when he got brought in to be Black Adam.
No. That story he went to go meet up with Warner Brothers one day. And it was Jon Stewart, Black Adam, and another character. And he chose that character.
That's what I remembered it as. But this article I'm reading from Hollywood Reporter from back when it got announced, they're talking basically the timeline from after when it first got announced. They were saying back in 2007, I don't know who was owning DC back then. They were just gonna say fuck it, I guess, and make a Captain Marvel movie
I don't remember that ever. Like, I don't remember that ever
Right.
being talked
Well,
about.
it never got out.
anything.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah,
If it
if
was
that's the
stuck in,
case, it never got
if
out.
it was stuck in developmental hell, then yeah, it just must have never got out. And
Well,
so then around the time
No,
when
I
it was
mean,
starting,
even the rumor, like the
Oh,
rumor
maybe.
that was something they were doing. Never.
oh,
I
maybe
don't remember
yeah,
that at all.
I don't remember ever hearing that. This is the first time I've ever seen it in this article.
Right.
And then that's when they were saying when Shazam came out. Even in this article, that they made it sound like DC made the decision to sort of split it because they were eventually going to bring them together. So that's what's interesting.
They ain't gonna say The Rock made him do it.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, they're not going to say that even back then. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not gonna say, "Yeah, he held us over the mountain."
He had choice. When you go in there and you have choice.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, you're like,
Rock never-
Other actors think
I mean, 'cause here's
they didn't do it.
Here's the crazy thing, Didge, and I'm gonna pass it to you, Trayvon. But here's the crazy thing: if Mahershala can call Kevin to a dinner and go, "Hey, bitch, I'm Blade," and Kevin go, "Okay," you think The Rock's big ass ain't walking in there like Suge Knight? I'm Black Adam.
No, yeah, that
Fuck, how
that
that
doesn't make
happen?
sense. It was just funny that they were like, yeah, the exec said it makes no sense to put the star like The Rock as Black Adam as a villain in the one movie. So we
I
decided to
remember-
spin it off.
Because I remember me and Joel were
Not
talking
wrong.
about it not too long ago. We were saying, like, bro, those were the weirdest times. Like, he got casted around the time Man of Steel was coming out. So at the time, you had
Yeah.
Superman, and then, well, even if it wasn't that far. It wasn't that far away.
It was,
It
yeah,
was
definitely
before.
wasn't
It
that
was
far.
before you built a bigger universe.
it was during.
So
the
you
big
essentially
Western,
had, you essentially had Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman,
yeah.
and then weirdly Black Adam right over there. It's just like, what are you gonna do? Like, there's no Shazam.
Because I remember following it only because I thought he was. Because I remember they were like, "Oh, he likes John Stewart. He might be the Green Lantern."
Right.
And I was like hoping that he would be the Green Lantern for like, because they were announcing all the Justice League basically for BVS. So I'm like, okay, cool. When they gonna give me Green Lantern? Is it gonna be The Rock? That's weird, but I'll take it.
The Rock Johnson.
They were- I've never seen it written that way.
Right? I've never seen it written like that. That's what made it so funny.
The Rock.
Wow. Wow. Holy shit. Yeah, but no, Joel, they definitely looked at you and went, Green Lantern?
Green Lantern. I don't know what you're thinking.
We'll introduce Shazam before we do that shit.
And they did.
They did. They doubled down on that. Fuck you, dude.
Shazam and Black Adam before we get Green Lantern. We're gonna get Superman. We get the Green Lantern.
You were about to get Supergirl and Batgirl before you got Green Lantern.
Yeah,
It was snowballing for you, Joel.
It's been bad for the Green Lantern fans. It's been bad.
But shout out to Stargirl. We appreciate you, Stargirl. That's the only little bit of Green Lantern we've gotten in fucking forever.
Very, very little. Yeah.
Very little.
Very
Very
hints of
little.
But Trayvon, do you think hyping it up this much might be dangerous for what comes after Black Adam if it doesn't hit?
Good luck to him and all his future endeavors. I don't know. I just thought when I read this, I was like, "Sir, please don't keep talking. Just talk about something else because that's not helping. Like it's really not helping. Like DC is you are literally in that room just like, oh my god, everything's burning, but my movie gonna be great. Okay, I hope it is. I really hope it's great. I really do. Like he's been cast for like a decade, so I really hope this movie is phenomenal because they've had a decade to make it. So if it's not
I do too.
good,
But
I don't know.
See, Trayvon, for me, it has a lot more than just that writing on it. You're introducing characters I want to see past this year, right? So I'm like, you better hit because I don't want you to fuck this up for all these characters I want to see going forward, right? So I'm like, it's not just Black Adam that's
Look,
right.
Dr. Face ain't got no eyes, so ain't no holes in the mask. I don't know what's going on with that. It is, and they better explain it. Because I need to understand.
It's what's his name? What's the name under the helmet? Naboo, right?
Yeah,
When he's in control. Do you really need eyes?
No, not really.
Yeah.
what are you looking at? He got it. Like the helmet got it. What the fuck you need?
The helmet does everything, right? So it's like,
don't worry about it.
Sure.
It's like when they can possess in Young Justice, they can possess. They have eyes, but like they're not in control. So
they're not in control. So it's like you see their eyes, but they can't really control shit. They're dormant.
You want to see what you're doing?
Now again, Trayvon, I'm not arguing that when I look at it, I kind of look at it like
I thought it was a mistake with
weird.
VFX in the first trailer. I was like, they're gonna fix that.
Side is like smooth and the other side is like jagged.
But
You know what I
they
mean?
didn't fix it. So
Because it's a look. It's what they're going for.
yeah, apparently. I'm just letting the movie be good.
I think it's more of an issue for DC than him.
Shazam.
That's fair, Ditch. We could change the question. So Joel, as we go to you to end out this topic, do you think that overhyping this and it not living up to kind of the hype that he's essentially building for himself, do you think this could be damaging to not only the characters in this movie, but some of the projects coming after?
If the movie sucks, it's going to damage everything.
Okay.
I don't care how he hypes it.
Right.
Well, you don't want to underhype it. You bitch all the time that they underhype shit. You know, what's the point?
Oh, yeah. I say all the
Damn,
time. Warner
yeah,
Brothers
overhyped.
marketing is fucking horrible.
So even if it underwhelms, you got eyes on it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
fucking
Poor
do what you gotta
Shazam.
do. Well,
Wait, what did you say, Trayvon?
Poor Shazam was right behind it, and I've already looked skeptical how long it took him to make it.
Like Joel's saying, it's a 50-50 because if Black Adam hits, you're great if you're Shazam, right? All the pressure is off of you, unless the movie just sucks. But if Black Adam hits and you're Shazam, you are riding high. You ain't even got to really do much, right?
At the very least, we're coming off a Shazam movie, a first one that was good. So,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, it didn't make the money they wanted, but it was reviewed well. You know
Well
what I
received,
mean? Yeah, well received.
All right, let's move on here. I could not wait to talk about this because this kind of made me cry a little bit. A brand new Saw movie is coming
Yeah.
in October of next year. Yeah. Now, what kind of hurts me a little bit is I did think that ending was very shitty. I was not a fan of how that ended. I was very much just like, really?
I didn't see it, so I don't know.
Trayvon, I keep trying to tell you, watch these Saw movies, okay?
I also didn't.
I
see
saw
it.
like the first couple, I think. I don't know. Once they
What
start
couple?
veering off into,
What's couple?
I don't know, 3, 4, I don't know.
That's right around when it stopped being good. Okay.
No, we're
Yeah.
talking fatigue. Let me tell you about a series I am fatigued about. Let me tell you. Oh man.
I'll take this over Final Destination. Then I don't need no more Final Destination. Those are scary. Those are
Oh, well,
terrifying.
you don't have fatigue for it. You don't have fatigue for it. You're just scared of it. That's different. That's different. But not to
Not
me.
fatigue, I'm just scared of them.
To me, I'm gonna be optimistic. I'm gonna be more so optimistic about this. Do I need more Saw movies? No. But I'm gonna be really honest with you. I did not need anything else fucking Chucky, and I love that series. So I'm open to seeing if this tries to do something drastically new, right? They've obviously moved on from what's his name. They've incorporated new killers now, right? So now I'm just trying to see how much more elaborate can you get. I thought they played this last one pretty safe.
Spiral?
Yeah, Spiral. Yeah, I thought they played Spiral pretty safe. They didn't want to go too crazy, right? You played pretty safe. You kind of gave a, I don't want to say a woke message because it makes it sound like it disregards it, but you definitely had a more political, right, avenue than the other ones. So I'm like, where do you go now? You know, where do you go now? How can you make this even more intriguing? And how many familiar faces come back? So to me, do I need it? Fuck no. Am I intrigued? Because this got greenlit. So
Yeah,
something Lionsgate saw that they were just like,
Sure.
Yeah, they saw money.
I don't think the last one made all that much money. I think it definitely
It's on the
exceeded its
Spiral?
budget.
Let me see.
Yeah, I think it exceeded its
Spiral,
budget, but I don't think it made a
I liked the Spiral. Like you said, Saw was coming out with another movie, and the first thing I'm like, I don't
But
know.
Spiral made 40
I forgot about Spiral.
They made what?
I like
40 mil.
But Didge, also remember it came out not
During COVID.
far out. Yeah, not far out of COVID.
Yeah, it was during
Not far out
the
of
re-release. I mean, it's coming back.
Yeah.
They
It's coming
weren't
back.
looking to hold off on it. They were
It was-
looking to get it out there.
Yeah.
It was day
so
and
that,
date too.
that
I
doesn't
think.
count as much. Yeah.
Right.
What's the Saw 6 director coming back?
Say it again.
The Saw 6 director,
Oh, that's not a good director to
whoever that is.
come back. Yeah, that's not.
What was the one where it was 3D? That's when I was like, man, this series is done to me.
I think that was 7. I think
That's when I was done. I was like, why do I need this in 3D? I'm out of this.
Yeah, I need it in 3D. But the opening kill in that movie was pretty fucking dope. The two boyfriends arguing over dating the same girl, and they had the chainsaw they had to pull. That's pretty fucking dope. I did enjoy that. I was like, oh.
I was just done with
Oh,
it. I
3D was Saw the final chapter.
Oh, so it wasn't 7. Wait, how many have there been?
Too many.
Spiral was 9.
Fuck, this makes 10. So no, that was That was 8 then, Trayvon. You're talking about 8. That was 8.
Was it?
Yeah. No. That was 7. That was 7. Because
Okay.
the eighth one was the
Jigsaw.
I can't remember the Jigsaw. And
Okay, that would make
then
sense.
9 was Spiral, and we're getting 10 next year. Yeah. So
Okay,
what's-
that would make sense. I was gonna say I know I've seen
I didn't doubt
majority, but
So is the general consensus here? Who gives a fuck? Is that the general consensus? Is that
I'm
the
just-
vibe I'm getting here?
it sounds like it. I don't know. Maybe Joel's.
Nah,
Right.
Joel stopped caring. Maybe at 3.
I think I saw 5. That's a lot. Or 6.
I was close. I was
Well,
close.
for a long time, all I saw was up to 4, and that was when it first came out, and I saw it on like DVD or whatever the fuck. And then like I just watched 5 and 6 like last year because my friends are really into Saw, and he's like, "Oh, you gotta watch them. Like, Spiral's coming out. Let's watch." Okay, sure. They were all right.
You gotta think about calling them friends.
Yeah,
Should
they
make you
haven't
sit
even.
down and watch that shit.
Yeah, he really likes Saw. He really big fan.
As a massive fan of Saw, I look back on some of these movies just like you could have quit. But all right, let's move on. Trayvon, this is for you, and hold back the waterworks, okay? Just relax, woosah. Hogwarts Legacy will now be released February 10th of next year. Now, to Trayvon, he believes that means it will never come out. The game is being destroyed as we speak. But Trayvon, it was coming out during holiday. That's all it was holiday. Holiday could have been Christmas. So it was only 2 months after it. It's not a massive pushback.
It's like the second time it's been delayed. So I think I'm nervous because it's WB games.
Mm-hmm.
That's like that's one of the main reasons I'm nervous. I'm like, why did it get delayed? What like did Slasher come in there and be like, so like I just want to know. I just like it just makes me nervous. Like I just want the game.
You talk
like,
about David like he's fucking Paul Bundy. Like,
listen, let me get my games before you get started. Let me just look. Let me get Gotham Knights and Hogwarts Legacy, and you can do what the fuck you want after that. Let me just get these games, please.
I look at it a little differently. I look at it more so like whenever I hear a movie or a show or a game is pushed back or even an album, I appreciate it because it means you saw something in it that wasn't good. You wanted to fix it.
If it wasn't Warner Brothers, I would agree. Right now,
I mean, I just
really
to me, I appreciate that because if you see something in it that's not good, I'd rather you fix it than to drop it and I see that you fucked up, right? I'd rather you fix it. We don't even know why you're pushing it back, right? It could be you're fixing something. Could just be you didn't like.
When
the
was
time
it
where it's
supposed
coming
to
out.
come out? November?
Just holiday. No,
it
said holiday
2022.
Right.
Yeah, now it's February.
Yeah,
right. That's what I'm saying. It's not a massive pushback, right?
Yeah.
I get you when you say you didn't
So
like
holiday,
the Marvels being
just happens to
pushed
be
back.
Valentine's Day now.
Yeah, you still got a
well,
holiday.
that's not 2022 anymore.
But it's real close.
It's really not.
Yeah, it's very close. It's very connected. It's very MCU connected. Very much so.
I just
to me, like I said, I look at it and I go, if you think that it shouldn't come out because whatever, I appreciate it. You're gonna fix it, make whatever it is better, and then we have a complete game. I don't mind it.
I think the Switch version is not happening. Based on how
You better watch your motherfucking mouth.
No, for what they said, it was like
I will fist fight you, Trey.
No, they said they give them the date at a later time. I'm like, that's just them waiting time before they go
kicking the can down the road.
They're waiting to say cancel because I was like, every time I look at the trailer, I'm like,
I'm fist fighting somebody. I always try to get my games for Switch. I always do. I play my Switch.
I'm just saying what they said. I was like, that's about to be cut. So I just. Right. Yeah, they're not giving a date with that. It's gonna be next gen only. Watch. I know that's what they're gonna do. I think that's what they're gonna say next.
All right, I wish they would.
I'm there.
Fuck somebody up. You selfish motherfucker, you Joel.
I'm there. I was always there. I just I didn't like it, but I knew I was gonna get a PS5. I was never.
Joel's like it was impending. It was impending.
Yeah. It was only a matter of time. It was never gonna happen.
Did is this big deal or no big deal?
It's a big deal, and I wanted to play it, but
Right.
Yes,
Dire
exactly.
it's
But
also
you're still
not.
getting it.
It's also not a huge deal.
Yeah,
Games do
I
get
can't-
delayed all the time, and it gives me more time to play Ragnarok. So I'll take that.
Right.
Not
That's
only that, Didge, but
2001.
Ragnarok comes out right around the same time as Gotham Knights. So it's
Right.
like, you
That's
know what I'm
also
saying?
that.
Like,
That's a lot,
it's a
bro.
clusterfuck of games that comes out in that small amount of time. So
Guess what happened to those other two? I will go right down with that.
Trayvon, you is a damn lie. All you've been talking about and retweeting for the longest is Gotham Knights. You're gonna be the first.
Because that's the
one
only
in
game
line
I think
to buy
coming
that.
out.
Ragnarok
You
has a
would
date
not
already.
prioritize that.
Ragnarok has a date. Gotham Knights. They moved fucking.
We ain't seen nothing about
the
Ragnarok.
Knights, son. So I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
they released something today.
Did they? Is it a trailer? Full one? Or the
They
little clip?
Even if they did,
Oh, yeah, they
Trayvon,
did
you're in
drop something.
August for a game that comes out in what, October?
Yeah.
Well,
you got some.
it was like a
You got some.
I always appreciate a good delay. It gives me time.
Joel's like, there's like 9 games here I haven't played. So,
I'm always playing. I'm always
23 is
playing.
getting kind of packed if you think about it. 23 kind of.
Still playing Ghost of Tsushima.
Crazy.
Sorry.
I actually just started because of Blake's recommendation of the Lego Skywalker Saga.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I heard
in
it's
the middle
great.
of that. Yeah, I'm in the middle of that.
I heard that was good too. Yeah.
But Joel, this isn't a big deal at all, right? It just got pushed back a few months.
No.
Still coming out.
No, yeah, I'm not worried about it. The fact that I'm excited for it tells you a lot. You know, like it
But
was
you're
never
not the
gonna
biggest
be.
Harry Potter fan.
No, not at all.
Right.
This is very different for me.
Right.
But I like the fact that it gives me time to catch up with other shit. Like now, I'm gonna start playing the Horizon Zero Dawn games. So like, I want to play those games. So it's a lot to catch up on. So the delay is good for me, actually.
Shout out to Young Deuces, who also recently celebrated a birthday. Happy belated birthday. Happy belated birthday. But yeah, it's okay. We've figured out everything Didge says.
It's not
is
okay
a
for
lie,
me. It's not okay.
and
for
everything Trayvon says is chaos. We got
That doesn't even make sense. Like, get Deuces out of here.
We don't necessarily disagree, is all we're saying. We don't necessarily. All right, Joel, lead us into our last topic, which is the web that we weave over at Sony for this Madam Web.
Well, we want to know about the Madam Web stuff.
No, but it's news. So let's talk about it. When Joel told me, it was very much just like but okay. So run us through the rumor mill, Joel, for this movie.
It's very weird, but it's I don't know what the fuck this movie's gonna be, but I'm very interested. And yes, all those actresses are involved, and and based on what came out like this weekend, I was off apparently about who was gonna be who, but I'm very happy to find out that
people.
There is, and like they're all good actors, right? So you're like, who are they playing? And we had an idea who they might be playing, and like it's a Madam Web movie. Like what the fuck? So apparently, exactly how it's stated here, Dakota Johnson is playing Cassandra Webb. Cassandra Webb is the actual the old lady Madam Web from the comics and the cartoons that we know her from. So she's actually playing that character. The whole time I thought she was going to be playing the Julia Carpenter character because I figured it'd be one of those older person giving it to younger person type of thing because Julia eventually becomes the Madam Web in the comic books, right? And Julia Carpenter is honestly the first Spider-Woman I was introduced to in the comics. So now we find out it's this girl, Sydney Sweeney, right? All right.
Yes.
You're not giving me actors' names here.
Yes. Sydney Sweeney. Yes,
yeah,
I believe it's
she's playing Julia Carpenter. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Okay, let's rock it. That's dope. All right, did not expect that. Now we're saying this. What's her name? Celeste, I believe her name is Celeste.
Yeah, hold on. I'm bringing it up now.
Celeste O'Connor. I'm going to say it's her
Celeste
name.
O'Connor. Yeah, you're right.
Nope. It's playing Maddie Franklin, which is another version of another type of Spider-Man with like weird psychic energy, like the other two before her. Anya Coda Song I know because I remember she was Aranya when I was growing up, and she was a Spider-Woman that wore the black and white suit, very similar to Julia.
Isabella.
Yes, Isabella Merced.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, so that's on. She's playing Anya. That's cool already. You got your like 4 Spider Women or whatever Web Warrior team they're gonna put together. And then the next 2. If you're looking at it right now, but you have a young Ben Parker played by
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott,
Mm-hmm.
and then Mary Parker played by
Emma Roberts.
Emma Roberts. Interesting, fucking interesting. And it looks like if anyone's been paying attention to like the set photos, it looks like it takes place in early 2000s. And then everyone thought they thought maybe it was in the same world as like the Raimi universe, but it just so happens that Mary Parker, if you've seen her on set, is looking pregnant. So it looks like they're going to be having Peter Parker in her belly. So this takes place during a time when Peter's not even born yet. The growing speculation is that someone is going to go back in time to try to stop Peter from ever being born, and so these four will gather together to protect Peter. And I guess that's how it's going to play out in some capacity. And we've also heard rumors that they will introduce this universe's Peter Parker in this movie, but again, that's all hearsay.
Didge, I'm going to start off with you because internally my body is just going burn it down. Hello from Australia. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thank you for joining. Welcome to the show. I told Joel this, and I meant it. If you're telling me that this is how I now get a Spider-Man and all this clusterfuck of villain movies, you know what? Fuck it. I'll eat it, right? I'll eat it. Like it's the Last Supper. But this all just sounds like, well, what the fuck?
So it's Terminator Spider-Man edition?
It's not only Terminator, they're essentially doing their Flashpoint for Spider-Man, right? Where they're like, well, we got to fix this because Tom Holland won't stay here and play with our toys. So flip the script. Here's our Spider-Man, right? And again, these are all rumors. So there's none of this confirmed or necessarily 100%. But, Didge, if this is indeed what happens, how interested are you going forward with Sony's universe with knowing that you now have a Spider-Man you can possibly implement into this villain's verse?
I guess sure. Let's see what they're gonna do. It's Terminator Spider-Man edition. That's just so fucking weird to me.
Yeah.
Peter Connor. Yeah.
Like
Peter Connor.
I can't get beyond that, but I guess I guess let's see what they're gonna do, because are you sort of starting now where it's like, are you building up to Spider-Man? Is this gonna be like a jump in time movie? What does this all even mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You know what they're queuing up, right? What they're queuing up is if this is indeed what's happening, they're gonna try their best down the line to do an actual live-action Spideyverse, bringing back Andrew, Toby, Tom, the new Spider-Man, Miles, Gwen, all these influx of fucking Spider-Women here. Like, they're going to try to go balls to the wall if this is true. You know it's happening. You know it's coming down. So, but that's why I said, to me, Didge, I can't shit on it because I've been begging them for years now to implement a Spider-Man. So if this is how I have to get it, fuck it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I don't care. Great. I'll take it. Trayvon, if this is indeed true, how are you liking this rumor?
I love it. I love this. This is
Why
so
am I
much.
not surprised?
This is so much chaos. I really love this. I just cannot wait to see this damn movie. Oh my god! Fast track the hell out of this, please. I can't wait. Oh, this sounds amazing. Oh, all these different Spider-Man, all these different powers. Oh my god, give it to me. Like, I can't wait to see this. This will be great.
God damn you, Joel. Why do you say powers?
Well, they all have different. That's what I'm most intrigued by. The girls are they're all Spider-Woman. Like, so they're a type of Spider-Woman. Like, so, and they all have different type of, and their powers are not normal spider powers like Spider-Man. They have like psychic energy. It's fucking weird.
You know what makes it even more weird, Joel? You want to know what makes it even more weird as I pass it to you, Joel? We're supposed to have a whole nother Spider-Woman. So it's like,
a Spider-Woman movie.
Right. So if you're giving us 4, how can this one be drastically different than what we're getting here?
She's going to be the most powerful one. That's why.
I don't know how or what they're going to be called. I have no idea.
She's going to have to become the Goku of all the other Saiyans.
Well, she's Madam Web. What the other three? I have no idea.
The other three I meant. Right, the other three.
Yeah.
But Mike, I'll go to you before I go to Joel to end this out. But what are your thoughts on them trying to expand this world if this rumor is true?
I'm conflicted, and you guys are gonna hate me for this so much. One, Sony should stop just bothering with these Spider-Man spinoffs. But I'm gonna be real. This is the hottest cast I've seen in a long time, so I'm just gonna watch it just for that.
I'm sorry, did you ignore Bullet Train? Like, was it? I don't even think the extras were.
Look. Sydney Sweeney's in this movie, man. Leave me alone.
Oh yeah, that look. No argument here. That definitely shifts the tides. I can't argue. That is like, I don't really need anybody.
That's right? All Sony had to do to win me over, and I am ashamed of it, but it's the truth.
I'm ashamed.
Look, you shouldn't even be ashamed. You should not even be ashamed. When I tell you I watch Euphoria just to see certain things in the voyeurs on Amazon Prime, for scientific reasons, I watch both of those projects. And just so happened, Miss Sweeney was at the forefront of both of those scientific experiments. But anyway, Joel, you've been sitting with this possible rumor. We talked about this, but if this does indeed happen, would you then become more excited for the future of this Sony world?
More excited? No, that would probably not the best way to put that, because I don't know what the fuck this looks like. I don't even know what this is. I just I'm like,
it can't get worse.
It can't at all.
I'm intrigued. I'll say that. I am intrigued. I just don't know what to expect. Because I think they are trying to do something, and what really fucks me up is that way Morbius ended. If they didn't do that, I'd probably be more willing and more open to what the fuck they're trying to do. But they were trying to force feed us shit that's probably never going to work out. They probably ignored it. That's how bad it landed. You know what I mean? We're never going to see Vulture again, and that sucks. Like, because he was a great villain.
It also didn't help when the director's just like, "Yeah, I didn't shoot any of that. I don't know what any of that.
That wasn't my idea. I don't know what the fuck that was." I'm like, good to know. Who's in charge over there?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening,
Terrible.
but yeah, somebody should maybe stop letting Amy drink. But yeah, Corbin reference. But yeah, Mike, I think we should clip that breaking news. We should do that separately so we can pitch that all on its own. Let me know in the group chat. But before we log off, I did want to say, because I wanted to do another weekly installment of what have we been watching. I just finished the not the final season. I just finished the last episode of Evil. Mm-hmm. And goddamn, was that a great finale! Holy
crazy!
Fuck, do I love that?
That was the last episode. Only 10 episodes.
Yeah, that was it.
That's
fine. We gotta wait till around this. Well, not this time, but around May or June of next year to get the next season. But they ended it on a cliffhanger like they usually do. So it's just like, oh well, I'll be pining for that next season. That's for sure. But one thing I obviously have not watched, but I'm looking forward to the most. I didn't know it was even happening, but I'm getting another Handmaid's Tale season. I didn't even fucking know that. I thought it was done. I thought they were just like, fuck it, we're done here. So I was very excited for that because I love the way it ended. I love the trailer that they dropped yesterday. I'm very much looking forward to that. And of course, I said this before, but Trayvon is no longer allowed to make recommendations. I started P-Valley under Trayvon's recommendation. And that is some shit you got me watching over there. I
could have swore you say you were watching that before I recommended it to you.
Hell no, I did not say that. No, yes, I did not. No, I definitely.
I recommended Industry to you.
No, in Industry, I'm now hesitant. I'm now like I might need to see a trailer or something. Trayvon, goddamn P-Valley. What is that, Trayvon?
P-Valley is amazing.
I like P-Valley.
Oh my god, I know why you like P-Valley, Ditch.
That is not why.
Whoa. It's the same reason Trayvon like P-Valley. It's all right.
I think we got different reasons.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
But he's saying that the underlying of what it is the same.
It's just on both sides.
Yeah. No, that is not why.
For the Valley, obvious.
Yes, and what that V stands for. But no. So I did give it a shot. I am trying to get myself completely caught up. But goddamn, Trayvon, is that show just really testing my patience? It is really getting me to block out all the non-acting and just accept it. Like, just accept everything I'm seeing. But damn, it makes me miss a Medea play. I'll tell you that. That's for damn sure.
That's
now, come on now.
Hey, whoa, Deuces. I don't block Deuces. Take him out of the street. Get him out of here.
What is going on here?
Look, Didge, it's cool. If you are showing off heathen tendencies, it's cool. Trayvon does it weekly. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. The thirst be out there. It's cool. It happens. No problem.
Block him.
No, but all jokes aside, Trayvon, all jokes aside, it is not as bad as I really thought it was heading towards. It got a little bit better, but goddamn aspects of this are just like,
where are you at in the show?
Season 2, episode 3. I think I'm starting. I think I'm on episode 3 of season 2. Don't laugh like that. Don't laugh like that. That's a very nasty ass laugh. You laugh like that, Trayvon.
You're for a ride. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Oh,
Season
man.
it's a wild one.
Did
got my life.
I will go to you, not on P Valley. What have you been watching lately?
I've still been on my anime kick, obviously.
Every time he says that, I get depressed.
I mean,
He's like,
to be fair, that's a lot of what I watch, especially recently. So I was just looking through my watch list. The Devil is a Part-Timer season 2 is out, so I've been watching that.
Bullshit.
Well, I mean, season 1 came out so many years ago. So you can obviously watch both of those on Crunchyroll. And Battle Game in 5 Seconds. Those are the 2 ones that I've been watching the most recently.
Every time you name an anime, Didge, I swear to God you're lying to me. But these are actual names. Like, none of them sound like actual names.
Amazing.
Battle Game in 5 Seconds.
No, I don't doubt the show at all. It's just when you say the names, I'm very much just
that's so many different anime titles. They're always... They have one like I think it's like Skeleton Knight in Another World. That's a good one. You should check that out.
I mean, I remember saying to myself, like, all right, no way these names are what the actual show is about. And I watched Blue Exorcist. And I was like, oh, no, that's up. They were right. They were very direct.
I'm always surprised on some of these anime because they're making a live action. When I saw that, I've heard that before, but I never
live action. Yu Yu Hakusho.
So I went and looked it up, right, and I was like, "This had Star
on Netflix."
Yeah, they're also doing the live action One Piece.
Netflix Japanese, yeah, and One Piece. I'm excited for One Piece though.
It's really
I very much love how
One Piece. I watch very sparingly.
One Piece is one of my crown jewels of anime.
There's so much.
You should talk to my brother. He loves One Piece.
One Piece is awesome.
One Piece is longer than the Bible.
Yeah, One Piece.
I'll start that at some point.
And that's why they know. That's why they wanted it, so they keep doing it. As long as it's
I'm definitely waiting for the technology where you can just beam things into people's brains. You can beam all 957,000 seasons of One Piece in my head without me watching it. That's what I'm waiting for.
I'm telling
you. That's the only way I'm watching it.
It's been like 1,100 episodes, and they still don't know what the One Piece is. I keep trying to tell every One Piece fan that it's going to be the journey all along. It's going to be the friends you made along the way.
If they pull some Wizard of Oz shit, where you peel the curtain back, you go, "This was it." Oh hell no! I need my money back. I didn't even pay for nothing.
I'm telling you, it's going to be the friends you made along the way.
Yeah, that's been the whole. That is the story. Like they pushed that strong.
There you go.
There you go. See.
Yeah, Straw Hats is the shit. I can't wait for that show. I love One Piece so much. So that's why I really hope that show.
Oh, that's what that means.
What is One Piece?
I had no idea what y'all were talking about. I was like, what? I'll just
One Piece?
Like,
what is a One Piece?
No, the Straw Hat thing. I was like,
Straw Hat.
Oh, yeah, that's there.
Yeah,
that's
Luffy's hat.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't even watch One Piece, and that's probably the only thing I'll ever know is that he wears a straw hat. That's it. That's all I know. And he got some of the dopest poses too. He be flexing with no muscles. Yeah. Luffy be hard. He be hard in these streets. But Joel, what you been watching lately?
Watch too much shit, if anything.
Damn. He said that like he needed a cigarette. Been watching too much shit out here, man.
I do. I watch a lot of shit. Like I got one more episode of Sandman. I keep trying to like savor it.
Finish that too.
To the point that I keep forgetting about it. So like, so I got one more episode left before it's over, and like, oh, Sandman's gone. I love that show so far. It's been really good. I just actually I do watch Riverdale, and then now it's like I stopped watching it live, so I'm like now it's on Netflix. So I'm starting.
Oh wait, you can answer a question to me then. How did they get powers?
It's a different timeline, different world. I haven't figured that out yet. They don't call it River; it's called Rivervale. Where they're at right now, so it's like a Twilight Zone.
See, I got confused because someone told me it was Revengers is what they called it now. That there's an Infinity War moment. There's like all kinds of shit.
Hold on, I'm not there yet.
Okay.
I just started it, so I'm like this is the season where they like Sabrina from the Sabrina show shows up. So like, I want to see how that works.
That's where they.
Oh, so you're season 5 right now?
6, I think.
6.
Well, they're gonna go. I think because next season's the last season. So right now,
seasons has it been?
6 right now. I think it's 6.
Right
6 or 5. One of the two. I don't remember. I gotta look.
No, you're good.
But yeah, that's where I just started that because that just showed up on Netflix, so I'm gonna binge that. And Lock and Key's final season, I'm gonna watch that. That's season 3. That's a good show. I like Lock and Key. I'm almost done with Teen Wolf finally. It took me years, but I'm finally finishing Teen Wolf. I'm gonna get through that. I watched so much shit on Hulu too. I finished what's it called? Old Man.
Yes.
Old Man.
Shit, I gotta catch up on it. Yeah, I gotta catch up on it. I'm way behind.
Yeah, Old Man, pretty good. I finished that. I just started This Fool on Hulu. It's like a comedy. Looks funny.
Oh yeah.
So far, it's not bad. I'm watching Only Murders in the Building. I'm watching Solar Opposites, which is kind of like Rick and Morty.
It's so good.
It's good. It's good.
It is definitely a placeholder while Rick and Morty is gone.
Yeah.
Whenever that comes out,
next month. Comes out next month.
So no, I'm saying whenever Solar Opposites comes out, it's like a placeholder till you get.
But it goes away so fast. You're like, now it's over. Like, I want to start The Bear. I still have not started The Bear. I did start Blackbird, which is on Apple, with Taron Egerton.
Oh, the jail movie.
Yes, show. It's a show.
Oh, show.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad so far. I only seen the first episode, but not bad. I finally caught up on Yellowstone.
Oh yeah, fucking brilliant, right?
It's amazing.
Right, Joel?
Yeah.
Come on, man, that's my
great
shit.
Show. Yeah,
there'll be no black people in there, but I fucks with that show.
There's one black guy.
That show, I definitely support the racism. I love
he's the token black guy.
Right. That is the only show in American history I will ever support. You don't really need them. They don't really do these activities. You're good.
I do. I just caught up on Evil too. Just like you were saying. Mm-hmm. I'm going through The Offer. I'm almost done with that.
Can't wait.
Like I said, I watch so much shit. It's like I'm going through. I'm looking right now. I just watched the first episode of Raising Kanan.
I checked that out the other day. This morning. I checked that out this morning too.
I got mad, and that's why I want to put anime in there. It's impossible.
It's very impossible.
Trust me. There's a lot of those live action shows I missed because I've made it a priority to try to watch more anime.
But see, that's fun, Didge. That's a lot of fun because going back and watching these shows like for the first time, that's a lot of fun. These live action shows that we're talking about, that's a lot of fun. Yeah, I definitely for some of these shows wish I had that. Like for Evil, like I wish I saw it for the first time. That's how fucking good that
pretty
show
cool.
is.
You go like I love watching something new for the first time. I don't know if you guys watched. It's on Amazon. What's it called? Them. It's called Them.
Yeah, I think it is what it's called.
It's fucking good. I really Them. Yeah. It's like a takes place during the 19.
Oh, that's the Janelle Monáe or not Janelle? But, I think she has something to do.
Lena
with
Waithe.
But no, I think but I think she has
1950s.
I think Janelle Monáe has something to do with
like,
is that Amazon Prime?
Yeah,
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, okay.
Really good. It's not anything new, but it's good. It's really good.
AJ and Dom have been raving about Amazon's horror world for the longest. I did want to watch They Us.
They/Them.
Yeah,
is
it the Kevin Bacon movie?
I just know
it's a Kevin Bacon. Yeah, it's a Kevin Bacon horror or thriller, really.
But she just did
On
a song
Peacock.
on it. That's not even having
Holds on
anything to
Peacock.
do with it.
Yeah.
I'm not really watching anything on Peacock right now. I was
just
watching
finished-
Yellowstone,
Yeah, I was gonna say he just finished Yellowstone.
but that's it. I mean,
Gotcha.
it's dead now. Like, unless I want to rewatch The Office and like.
Oh, that's a black hole for me. I can never do that. I
That's
fucking get
that's
lost
one of
in
that's
that.
another one of my background shows where I just if I'm
Office.
doing something, I just need something
Just having it
on
background.
so there's music or like just noise. But
Yeah.
by the way, Janelle Monáe, she had a song, I guess that had something to do with it. So it wasn't even anything with the series
Ooh.
itself.
It's okay.
I never seen Upgrade. Upgrade's on Peacock. I want to watch that.
Yeah. Kanan swears by that movie.
Which
so
one?
I gotta watch Upgrade.
That was great.
Upgrade. All right, Trayvon, what have you been watching?
Damn, huh?
Finish Sandman.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think so.
You're thinking about the Corinthian right now, ain't you? Get your head out of it.
No, I'm trying
What else
to.
have you
I'm
been
looking
watching?
at and rap shit. I don't know.
Rap
Between
shit?
Rap shit,
Rap
P-Valley,
Yep.
and Sandman. That's pretty much the three things.
You need to watch the show Evil, Trayvon. That show is
It
fucking
was good, man.
You were supposed to start it on your flight.
I fell asleep on that flight.
Smart man.
It's
Smart man.
It's like it's so much content that I wind up watching Digimon. I'll be like, this is what am I gonna watch? Oh, let's watch
Digimon is great, so you're not.
I can't even blame you,
I
bro.
will
There
do
was
that.
a long point, Trayvon, where I was just watching Sons of Anarchy. Like I'd seen it all. I was just like, nah, I'm watch it again.
I've not seen it all. There's no such thing. So, like, yeah, that's why I'm always finding new shit to watch. And my thing right now is comedy. It's hard to find a good like a sitcom. I just finished watching Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon. Those are the last ones I went through.
Like all of it, or like you just recently seen them?
I finished Big Bang Theory and I caught up on Young Sheldon. So I'm trying to find something new.
Gotcha.
I think I'm gonna wait till Industry and Parallel Original Center are both done. Then I'm gonna binge them.
And binge them? Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense. Everybody's been watching Harley Quinn though, right?
Yeah, I've been watching it.
I watched the first season of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I gotta watch last week's episode though.
Last week's episode was
sorry.
fucking hysterical.
I'm sorry. Hold on. We just said two different things. One person said, "Yeah, I gotta catch up on the most recent episode," and the other one said, "I just watched season 1." Is there any particular reason why you stopped at season 1, or
I don't know. Just forgot about it.
you should maybe pick it back up?
Mhm.
Yeah. So
I think
next time,
I think I was watching, Clone Wars for y'all.
Oh.
So
I'm sorry,
Clone Wars.
you've been done for forever, and you just sat here saying you ain't been.
that was
watching
a lot
nothing.
of cartoons.
So watch Harley Quinn. Watch
Harley Quinn
It's
is
a different
great.
cartoon.
Harley
It's a
Quinn is
different
great.
cartoon.
I know it's fun.
And speaking of Star Wars, Clone Wars, Jamie and Jayla ain't slick because they've been out enjoying life. When they get back, that will be a question on how caught up they are on Clone Wars. Because what I will not be doing during that Ahsoka series is explaining shit. Okay?
No,
That will not be happening up in here. But all right, guys, we want to thank you for joining us on this episode of Much to Do About Nothing. Did you want to do a quick shout out before we get out of here?
Yeah, shout out to the Geek Set crew. I see Deuces in here. I don't have a Homeboys in Outer Space rewatch podcast, contrary to what the statement says. Do not listen to him. I told you guys you should have blocked him hours ago. But yeah, and happy belated Deuces, man.
Absolutely.
He's
Happy
old.
belated. No, go ahead.
No, I just think he's old. He's old.
You're like, I just had to get that in. He's old. All right, I'm good. Happy belated, and also happy belated to Joel.
Yeah, happy
Also,
belated to you as well, Joel.
Thank you.
absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Trayvon,
I'm just gonna assume you're old too. So
I'm old. I'm
That's
not
it,
even gonna give you a round number. I'm just gonna go late 30s, and let's go with that.
all right,
If you want to take a guess, go ahead. I'll say yes or no. That's fine.
36.
I was 36.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, now I feel worse that I didn't know. I feel really sucky, but that's okay. Joel doesn't know how old I am, so that's fair.
What I do is I'll just ask. I know you're the same age as April's brother, so I'll just ask April.
Oh, yeah, no, that works. You know what's so funny? As we get out of here, my aunt asked me that. She's like, "Do guys not ask questions like that, like women do?" And I'm like, "No, of course we don't." Like she asked me so many questions about my friends that I have no answers to. She's like, "You don't ever bring that up?" Never. like never. They're like, well, how is this person doing or that person doing? I don't know. You don't ask them? No, never. Like, no, not really. Not really. Not really the conversation that comes up.
I mean,
unless a birthday comes up, I'm not asking your age.
it's not
for
personal
sure.
shit.
Yeah.
You want to know
Yeah,
about personal
it is
shit?
personal. Yeah.
Y'all can ask me. I don't care.
How's the family? I mean, it's good. I mean, I'm not gonna give you a broad up. I mean,
Whenever me and Joel say that, that's very much the answer we get. They're good.
we're good.
Okay.
I mean, I can give you more, but you
Yeah, I'm like, you don't really know.
What do you want to know?
anything.
She took a shit. That's not like,
But yeah, we don't really do that. That's not really what happens here. If it's not geek shit, that's pretty much where it kind of begins and ends here.
Before we end it, I mean, we don't have to talk about it now. We can do it offline because I'm not 100% sure how true it is. But there's so much shit that dropped today, rumor wise. I'm not sure how valid it is, but if any of it's true, that's some crazy shit.
Well, we'll definitely talk about it off air, and then if it starts to pick up steam, maybe we replace Wednesday and do a rumor mill.
We'll see how much it picks up steam.
All right. Again, I want to thank Joel, Didge, and Trayvon. Shout out to Young Deuces. Utterly random guy. Appreciate you in the comments. In the front row from Australia, we appreciate you. Mr. E, listener Jim, everybody that's been in the comment section, we appreciate you guys so much. And please make sure you stay tuned tomorrow for our GVN sports episode. And we are working out the details, but we might even do our fantasy football draft live on an episode of GVN Sports. Stay tuned for that, where you guys can go, man, Juwaan knows nothing about these players. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. But thank you guys. And also a huge thank you to Mike, working the boards in the back. We appreciate you as our oracle. We so appreciate you. Thank you so much. And also check out, guys, on the Last Scare podcast over on their channel. We just did a very long-winded breakdown of the Predator franchise. My favorite movies.
That was not a Predator breakdown. Don't even tell it that way.
When I was in the comments, I was talking about superheroes.
That's what it's titled, Mike. I gotta sell it off what it's being promoted as.
That was a Batman episode, and you know.
What? They did find a way to.
It went into a whirlwind.
But to be fair, that's the chaos you get when you bring me and Sabrina together. We both
need like Batman. A shepherd, like bringing the people in. Like what?
We started talking MonsterVerse. Like it got wild.
You didn't realize how much you missed Jayla until that moment, honestly.
I'm telling you, Jayla will never let me be on another episode. That was my grand opening, grand closing. I'll never be back there. Jayla will never let me back. She's like, what the fuck, she's gonna come back. Yeah, no, never again. But we thank you guys so much.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Jayla's gonna go, where did this go? But we thank you guys so much. And until next time, peace.